Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to St Albans Rugby Club on a glorious day. I'm joined by Phil McGovern from the Hertfordshire Cheetahs. Good morning, Phil.
Hi there, how are you doing?
And also in a commentary booth, I'm joined by Jonathan Rooney as well.
Hello.
And we've got a treat for you today before our main event of the day in support of the Armed Forces charity. We have an under-19 nine-man football game against one of the top teams in this conference, Hertfordshire Cheetahs, playing a team that's had a difficult season, but have got a decent-sized squad. They've got positives to take from this game, the Cambridgeshire Cats. So I'm just going to hand over to Phil McGovern, and he's going to talk to us quickly about the start to this season that the Cambridgeshire Cats junior teams had. Phil.
So unfortunately, they've yet to put a win in the win column, but they are struggling. As you said, they are fighting hard. They're a young squad. They're really aiming for next year is the year they're aiming to compete, get some maturity and the game time out there with their players, and they're coming up against, as you said, one of the top teams in this division, the Cheetahs.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good chat with the Cambridgeshire Cats head coach, and he's got positives he can take out of this game. He talked about this team. He expects them and wants them to compete for four quarters. Now, you can see by the camera that the Cheetahs clearly have a bigger squad in terms of both numbers and I would say physicality and size-wise. Yep. But this being nine-man football, very few mistakes lead to very big points.
Right.
It could be a game where we can see one thing exploited and perhaps keep a close game. But who are we going to look out for today on this Cheetahs squad?
We got several players. Starting today is number 4, Louis Groom. He came over to us just last year from the Bucks Wolves junior youth squad. There's no junior squad over in Buckinghamshire, so we picked up a bunch of their players. So he's making his first start here today for the Cheetahs. To get him some game time, get him a lot of reps out there, and read some different defenses, etc., like that.
Okay, and I've also been told they want to watch, especially on the offense, is their running back. I've been told he's a good quality athlete, but also a good quality football player.
Yeah, that's number 26, Luke McCorkindale Brown. Luke just showed up this year. He just he heard about football. He wanted to play, and he just came up, and he's been a revelation. He really has been. He makes a lot of things happen. He makes people miss. He runs hard, runs strong. But not only that, as you said, he's a smart football player, even though this is his first year at the sport.
One thing I've noticed about this setup, and it's a great setup here at Hertfordshire, it's just the number of coaches dedicated to this junior team. So you can get somebody in with literally no football experience and give them not one-to-one coaching, but certainly positional coaching, group coaching, yep, etc. I mean, how long have you had this sort of setup here?
Yeah, I mean, the Cheetahs, we've been building for quite some time to really get the program, and we like to think that we're not just a senior team. We've actually got a lot of contribution in the juniors and the youth teams. And what we've got is, the youth teams have been really well. The youth team made playoffs last year. We're looking at national playoffs again this year. And so it's really success has bred success. And so over the last 3 years, we've really taken that quantum jump, and we're really starting to think of ourselves as one of the top, bottom to top clubs in the country. Yeah, so
one thing I will say is, on speaking to the head coach, he said already from last year's junior program, we'll be seeing 3 guys getting quality game time on the adult squad, which is a dream of every adult team, right, is to get these guys who have been coached properly for years previously.
Right, yeah. We term it like getting a train going. It's like we got the youth squad coming up, and this year we've got a whole lot of 16-year-olds who next year are going to be able to hopefully contribute onto the junior squad, and next year we've got some juniors again moving up to the senior squad, and that's really going to help us out.
Cool. So just changing the topic slightly, we've got the referees out on the pitch, a 5-man crew. I'll just name them, and then we'll have a little talk about the refereeing issue in
sure,
Brit Ball, and also do as many plugs as we can today to get people involved in refereeing, because that is the crux of the issue. So we've got referee Pete Parsons, umpire Richard Moger, head linesman Daniel Clark, line judge Tom Blakeson, back judge Keith Wickham, and they've asked me as many times as possible today to plug their website, www.bafra.info.
Yeah, that's BAFRA.info. Yeah, that's the British American Football Referees Association. Yeah, so it's a tongue twister. I think they're ready to introduce the teams there.
So I mean, What are your predictions for the game today, Phil?
I think we've got to give the edge here to the Cheetahs. They are the more experienced team. But hopefully the Cats can get a lot of experience out of it, give a good game, and as the head coach said, play hard for all 4 quarters.
From Cambridge, under 19 Cambridgeshire.
So still about 5 minutes till kickoff.
Yep. So, like you said, you want to talk about the referee situation going on.
Yeah, I mean, I know up north there's difficulties with shortage of referees. I mean, how much have you seen it affect the game down? We're currently north of London, but I'm going to say the southeast and the south in general.
Well, I mean, right. So right outside London, I mean, I think we're pretty lucky, in that it is a close group. But I have seen it as we go more west, out into out into Dorset and Cornwall and out there.
Cool. So we got Cambridgeshire Cats, Hertfordshire Cheetahs warming up. So expect to see 3 main formations from this Cheetahs offense. We're going to have a spread, single back from shotgun. We've got a 2-back offense from shotgun, and also a bunch or trips with single back.
Yeah.
How much have you how much involvement have you had in this offense?
As I said, I've been the head coach of the youth team, and I've got an offensive mindset there. So I've been helping out with the offense quite a bit. Mainly,
do you run similar playbooks across the two teams?
No, I mean, the 5-on-5 game is a completely different game. With the pitch being so much more open, there's a lot more deception, reverses, that sort of thing. Okay, so we get a lot more, fancy, if you will. The Cheetahs here run a pretty traditional 2-back set, as you said. They've got actually
with
some
a
really
tight
quality,
end.
With a quality fullback, but they also go to spread quite a bit. So you'll see a bunch right, a bunch left, with 3 on one side, 1 on the other. But you also see the traditional 4 spread, and lots of short, quick passes. So captains, we've got Louis Groom. There's number 4. We mentioned him as starting quarterback. Number 13 is Jack Studell. He's playing on the Team GB team. Toki Balogun, he's a offensive lineman. And number 5, Lucas Cornwall, he's plays on the defense as a linebacker.
So just have a look at the captains for the Cats.
Okay, number 90, Tariq Johnson. I can't see their other numbers, unfortunately, right now. Number 79, Remy Perrier Taylor.
It's interesting. No, it's 37 kitted players for this Cheetahs junior team.
And actually,
that's an impressive number of players.
We're actually down a few. Number 40, William Ashdown, also a captain there for the Cambridgeshire Cats. Yeah, we're actually down a few players here today, so. And number 35, Morgan Pierrette.
I'm not sure. That's quite some unusual handwriting.
So yeah, unfortunately we can't read that. Yeah, so the Cheetahs actually have 68 players and coaches on the roster.
At junior level.
At junior level.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are quite blessed. I think that there's 15 odd coaches, and like you said, we are really blessed with the number of coaches.
So just going to get the opinion of Jonathan Rooney, one of our commentators. For people that aren't aware, this at junior level, it's a 9-man game with 3 down linemen instead of 5 down linemen. But everything else is the same. The pitch markings are exactly the same. We'll see a lot of the formations and concepts the same. What are you looking in this game for a team to be successful, Jonathan?
as the field is the same size, you're playing in a little bit more space. Every time you're playing in space, you're under pressure to have great fundamentals, because you're on an island. Your support's so much further away than it could be. And if you make an individual error, as you said early on, individual errors lead to big plays, big scores.
I mean, this is a good thing, though, because at this age, you should be teaching kids fundamentals.
At this age, we should be teaching fundamentals, and they should be playing in games that are 44, 36.
Yeah,
and
shootouts.
People should be having a whole load of fun, because there is clearly both teams have got athletes that have got good speed. There's space, put speed in space, and we should be having a good time. And so it's really interesting to see, particularly on things like Kickoff, where you've got so much space to defend with only 9 players. And each ball club has usually 1 or 2 kind of those superstar athletes.
Well, we can see already the Cheetahs have put out number 26 as one of the returners, Luke McCorkindale, who we've already talked about today. We're expecting to see him make some decent plays, especially in the space he's going to be given. So if we look, we've got a 4-man front line, 3-man second line, 2 back to return for the Cheetahs. Ball's kicking off from the 35-yard line.
A little wind today. So
One thing I noticed was the ground is very, very hard, and this playing surface is not the best. So caught by number 90.
That's Marcin Kurek. He's a big man from Poland. He's plays fullback at DT. It's a hard man to take down.
So he returns it to the 45-yard line. So we'll see the Cheetahs offense up first.
Another thing about the 9-man game is with the 3-man front, pressure comes very quickly up the middle.
Which is one of the reasons that all this Cheetahs formations are all from shotgun. The head coach was saying that he tried under centre last year and he just didn't have enough time, especially if they put 4 in the box and put pressure on.
Yeah, so the top teams, they get to the quarterback very quickly. So there's not a lot of 7-step drops, deep passes down the sides. It's a lot of get the ball out quickly.
So we're going to open up in bunch left. Single back, shotgun, pistol. In fact, the back's got a 30 front. Breaks 1 tackle. Breaks a second and a third to the sideline. Eventually dragged down by number 90. Good open field tackle.
Yeah, that's the Luke McCorkindale Brown we mentioned before. There's the ability to break tackles in the open field and get out and quickly outside. It's really good.
So it's Therese Johnson on the stop. First down. Advancing the ball to the Cats' 22-yard line.
I expect to see McCorkindale Brown to get a lot of reps here in the first beginning of the game.
And it's just as Jonathan mentioned, you're putting these people on an island in space. We saw 2 broken tackles and a big gain. Bunch right. Pitch left.
Okay, it's number 9 on the Cats with the tackle.
Alfie
McIntyre. Yep. It's a good open field tackle there by Alfie.
He did a good job there. I mean, I would like to see his shoulders squared a bit more, but he certainly stopped him bouncing outside.
Yep.
So we've got 1st and goal on the Cats' 9-yard line. You've got to think they're going to hand this or give it to the running back again.
I know. The bunch right, they like to go to the screen in this position. They might go a quick screen out to Stadell, there, number 13.
Yeah, I've got 1 low and 1 high over that bunch formation. Quarterback's looking to pick up some blocks. And as predicted, the screen underneath.
Oh, it's a drop by Stadell.
I mean, number 44 read that well. That's Finley
Hitchcock. No,
Hitchcock.
Or Highcock.
So, I mean, he was in a position to make the tackle.
Yeah, I don't think it would have gone for much if he made the catch.
2nd and goal on the 9 again.
So a bunch again.
So bunch left to the narrow side. That's a big hole. Bounces it outside.
Bounce outside. That should be in. Okay.
So Jonathan, you talked about putting people in space and on an island, and straight away we've seen the successes come from open field moves.
Yeah, and it's a difficult situation because you've got a player, and he clearly is a fantastic, well-balanced athlete. He's explosive, he's quick, he's strong, and it's not about in 11-a-side football. You quite often can make a matchup or force a matchup that you want. In this game, it's so wide open that quite frequently you can get one of your better players on one of the weaker players and
So
really
we see
attack.
the Cheetahs going for a 1.
Yeah, we've got special team coaching that's really been helping out too.
So it wasn't the best hold. However,
No, it's good.
it's over. It's 7-0.
Yeah, it's Josh Miller Hall with the kick and Liam McGovern there with the hold.
So I mean, at this point, Jonathan, I mean the Cheetahs have scored there. All their plays have been. The Cheetahs have had an impressive opening drive. What are you looking for the Cats head coach to say to his team now?
Well, right now we have a feeling how it's going to go, but they've got their entire scripts to write. So if they execute and they score, it's all even.
Yep.
So let's go and take it one play at a time. Let's execute first down. Let's execute second down. Let's execute third down. Let's see what happens. Okay, and it might be a case of let's take our time, score, take 20 plays to do it if that's what it takes. Because it's clear that Hearts can score quick. It's really clear that the Cheetahs are going to score quick. Okay, so you've either got to find a way of shortening the game or you've got to find a way of stopping them. But the first thing to do is to go and score.
So number 35.
Yeah,
And I believe number
33 there on the
33
other
back
side.
to return for the
so that's
Cats.
Morgan Pierre, one of the captains there, and Alexander
That's an
Warburton
impressive kick. Bounces into the end zone
over the end zone
for a touchback.
So it's number 35 with the catch up, the touchdown, touchback. Sorry.
So if you basically find a position where you like your thumbs in your sternum and just keep it the same, and you'll know where it is.
So
You'll be able to level.
we're expecting the Cats to come out with 2 backs from shotgun and a tight end. Cheetahs defense with a 20 front.
And so their Cats quarterback number 17 is Oliver Martin. Just thrown away, a lot of pressure up the middle. Number 90, Marcin Kurek there.
Yeah, I think the poor snap slowed the backfield down. I'm not
Yeah.
sure whether he was going to hand out or fake it on a jet and then keep it right, but
In warm-ups, I was watching Mr. Martin, the Cats quarterback, and he had to seem to have quite the arm. He actually was getting the ball out quickly with some nice-looking throws. So I'm hopefully, he can bring that today, get some open receivers, and get some exciting plays.
But as
down
you
that
said
side.
earlier, this pressure in the junior game can come a lot quicker than the 11-man
Right.
game.
Yeah. I didn't catch the penalty call. Intentional grounding was the call then.
Well, the ball didn't actually get back to the line of scrimmage,
Oh, there you go. Yep.
so it puts the Cats in a precarious position. Their quarterback stood virtually on the goal line. Clean snap, drops back to pass, flushed out. It's looking downfield. That was number 35 open. Just couldn't quite hit the target. It's nice to see he had his eyes downfield though. He was looking to offload the ball to a man in space.
Yep. There was a little contact on the quarterback after the whistle. He's looking for the call. Didn't get it, unfortunately.
Brings up 3rd down and 20.
It's a little bit more than 20.
25.
Yeah. It's quite a distance from starting on your own 5-yard line. It puts a lot of pressure on those front 3 because, of course, an error here could lead to 2 points for the Cheetahs. Oh, another low snap. Ball's down.
We only had a 20 front from the defense there, but 2 linebackers blitzed on the snap. So
Right.
we had a 4-man rush. Poor snap.
And ended up with 2 points for the Cheetahs, like I just said.
So it's a safety.
Safety.
So the Cats will get the opportunity to kick, giving possession back to the Cheetahs. It makes the score currently
9-0.
Hertfordshire Cheetahs 9, Cambridgeshire Cats 0.
So I'm not sure who we have to give credit for that safety. There's a whole lot of piles up in the middle there. The poor snap really put the nail in the coffin in that way. As I said, they had no room for mistakes back there. That part in the end, that part of the pitch.
Yeah, it's interesting to see though the Cheetahs come out with that 20 front. Those 2 down linemen trying to occupy the 3 offensive linemen on the Cats offense, leaving those 2 outside backers when they blitzed. You're either going to throw over the top of them in a hurry, which they couldn't do due to a poor snap, or you're looking at putting the running backs in at pass protection. But
right.
You've now got 5 guys in protecting 4 rushers.
Yeah, like I said, it's the quick passes all up there. They need to get the ball out quickly.
And number 42 picks it up. He's got some good blocks.
And
a hole down the middle. Number 28 made a great block downfield.
Okay, number 82 there with the tackle. Don't have 42, unfortunately.
Ryan Frost, number 28, made a great block downfield. Maintained it for pretty much the entire play.
Charlie Taylor made saved the touchdown there, the last man there in the tackle. Got a Cats down. Lisa, who's number 42? We don't have his number. Dylan Bayless. Okay. So that was Dylan Bayless, number 42 there with a nice return. Oh, getting called back. It's number 3, that's Alex Cameron.
And that's going to go back from the spot of the foul. So a good return. It's pushed backwards by a block in the back call.
Yep. So number 79, Remy Pierre-Taylor. He's Perrier-Taylor's one of their captains being helped off the field there.
So that'll start the Cheetahs offense on their own 35-yard line.
That's a tough penalty to take back. One of the starting O-linemen, that's going to make it tough on that play.
Yeah, just for the viewers at home, I mean, it is starting to heat up here. It has been quite a coolish morning in comparison to yesterday, but the wind's starting to die down, and on this hard grass, it's starting to get really quite hot. So,
yeah,
Cheetahs clearly a numerical advantage, able to rep guys on. We'll start to see this Cats team really struggle in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's going to be that's true. This pitch is known for being quite hard. A lot of ankle injuries that unfortunately come out of that.
So bunch left. Hands off right.
Okay.
Number 44, he's a big unit. Breaks 1 tackle, is finally dragged down by the ankles by number 9.
Yeah, that's Kamil Durak, another Polish man. He's actually just come on from the youth last year, just stepped up this year. As you said, he's a big unit. He's a big boy. He goes both ways on the squad. He just really gets out there and he just loves to play football.
Alfie McIntyre on the stop, number 9. So still staying with bunch.
So obviously the Cheetahs want to establish a run game here early.
So fake screen right, pinch left, breaks 1 tackle. Number 50 meets him.
Okay. Number 50 there, that's Louis Remy. Had a good tackle. Number 35 had a chance to make the tackle in the backfield. That's Morgan Pierre. Chance for a tackle for a loss. It's one of those mistakes the Cats need to take advantage of when they have an opportunity to catch a runner in the backfield. They need to make that tackle.
So it brings up 2nd and 8. Gives up the middle. Number 40 again. For about a 2-yard gain, bringing up 3rd and 5, maybe 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that's William Ashdown, number 40 with the tackle. And that was number 25, Ashley Gutala, the running back, another one of the deep squad they have back there.
So this Cats defense stiffening a little bit compared to the last drive.
Yeah, this is a big 3rd down, though. You want to make sure you get that stop here.
So we'll go to spread for the first time. Looking at man cover 1. Motion right. Fakes the jet right, gives it up the middle.
Oh, it's a big stop there.
He's hit About 2 yards shy, got to drive about 1, but I don't think he's going to be quite make it. He's going to be about half a yard short, bringing up 4.5 yards.
That was some tough running by Ashley Gutala. They just couldn't get the legs moving. He was met by pretty much the entirety of the Cats defense. A nice stop by there for the Cats.
Well, here we go. It's 4.5 yard on the Cats' 30-yard line. They're going for it here. What are you going to call them?
It's going to be, they've got...
They've got number 44 in.
It's going to be a handoff right up the middle for the power run right here.
Outside linebacker creeps. It's a high snap.
They should have gotten that. That's just the 1 yard they needed.
I mean, it was a good tackle, but unfortunately, by the time the tackle was made, he'd already picked up the first down.
High snap, they messed up the timing there a little, but it's pretty easy to get just 1 yard in this game again with the quick ball out. And the Cats are playing a three-man front, which is should help to stop that inside run, but unfortunately, they just weren't able to get through that game.
Drops back to pass, looks over the middle.
Oh, that was
intended number 13, but number 89 is there to break it up at the last minute.
That was a nice defense from number 89. That's Peter Page. He really closed fast right at the end there to mess up the timing for Mr. Studell, Jack Studell, number 13.
Quarterback got excellent protection from his offensive line.
He did indeed, yeah. He had a good time to throw.
So have the big man back in, number 44. So it's the first time I've seen a two-back offense. Twins left. Let's give it the middle light on them. Give up the middle with number 44 lead blocking.
Yep, that's number 3, Alex Cameron. He's also come up from the youth program just last year. He's unfortunately he suffered a big injury last year, a really bad hip injury that kept him out most of the youth season. So it's really good to see him coming back. He's a good quality runner, reliable, good hands. But he doesn't quite have the size and strength of some of the other running backs that the Cheetahs possess.
Motion left.
That's some illegal
false start.
procedure, yep. I think on either the left running back or the right running back, one of the running backs.
So this will give the Cats a little bit of breathing space. It'll turn from...
Offense number 44, 5-yard penalty, 4 down.
Yep.
So what was 3rd and 5 will become 3rd and 10. So it's first real chance for the Cats to make a stop. Now we're in 4 down territory here, so we've still got 2 downs for the Cheetahs.
To be honest, they've got the wind at their back, and they like to use the kicking game. So they might take this opportunity.
Okay.
If they get down there, they might actually try a decent-sized field goal just to get the experience.
So punch right. Screen underneath to number 13, fills it cleanly. Manages to evade number 89. And now I think that's probably going to be a block in the back or a holding.
No, I think it's actually going to call a face mask on number 89. He came on, we tried to make the tackle. He did seem to get a little bit of the face mask. And the throw was from the referee. Oh, proved to be right.
So, that's a costly penalty. We had a score there. That's going to push them back 4th. 20. So still 3rd down, 3rd and 8. Fakes the screen right, pitches it left. Number 26. Number 26 was, schematically, the outside linebacker was there and could have made a stop quite early, but number 26, clearly a good athlete.
Yeah,
but all the yards he gained was after the initial contact.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's one of the opportunities that Cats need to take advantage of. When they get in the backfield, they need to make those tackles, especially when it was a 3rd and long at that distance. They could have put it 4th and really long.
So it brings
Now-
up 4th and 2, 4th and 3. Two-back offense, got the big man, number 44, in again. There's only one middle backer for this Cats defense.
Great blocking by the O-line. And it looks like he is off.
That's
Number 10, with a great block on the edge, number 10. And
That's
number
right.
44 went in untouched.
So that's Josh Miller Hall there with a block, and then Camille Durack again. He pretty much went in there untouched. It was a nice cutback move on the inside. He made some good space.
Yeah, that
for
was good
himself.
vision, especially for a big man who's going to favour himself up the middle, just lowering the shoulders for him to actually get his head up and look for space rather than pounding it up the middle.
Yeah, basically, Camille is as I said, he's a really active player. He loves the game. He just started playing last year. He only came over from Poland last year, so his English wasn't very good, and basically all the first words he learned as he was learning English were all football terms. So it was quite interesting. We actually are lucky to have a good number of Polish players we're able to welcome into the club and to get to translate some of the more complicated terms. But now that he's been here about 2 years, he's really picked up and learned a lot, and it's been really great to see him.
So we
blossom.
have a timeout from the Cats. The Cats head coach is having a conversation with the referee currently. Current score is 13, Hertfordshire Cheetahs, Cambridgeshire Cats 0.
It's actually 15-0 because
Oh,
they had
the
that safety.
safety.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, I'll stop talking about the score from now on. So my Achilles heel, isn't it, Jonathan? My Achilles heel.
They've got the scoreboard over there in the corner, but they don't seem to be using it for the senior game. So we'll have to just keep track of it in our brains.
Cheetahs once again bring out the kicking unit.
And this is one of
So
the
referee Pete Parsons having a chat with the Cambridgeshire Cats head coach.
the second kicker, James Whiteford's in here to take the extra point try. Good snap.
It looks to be good.
That was a good kick there.
So that drive did result in a score for the Cheetahs, but the Cats can take heart from that. I mean, they made them convert on 4th down twice.
Yep.
You know, they had some decent stops. They're by no means outclassed. And this hopefully goes back to what their head coach was saying. He's expecting them to keep playing and keep playing. Because
Yep.
we can see currently there is a gulf in both numbers, but also in their talent in these two teams. But the Cats are willing to admit that they've got a very young, inexperienced, mainly rookie squad. So their main drive is experience, their head coach was saying.
Yep. I mean, they have had some opportunities to take advantage of some Cheetah mistakes, contact in the backfield, some bad penalties by the Cheetahs. If a young squad can take advantage of those mistakes, that can go a long way to building morale and building the positive feelings going
win
into
the
next year.
play.
Yep.
You got to have that mentality. Win the next play.
That's what I always coach whenever I'm out there with my players. It's like if you make a mistake on one play, the next play is an opportunity to make it all back. So it's
Number 33.
Oh, a little fumble on the snap there. I mean the routine return.
He breaks
It's
one
Alexander
tackle.
Warburton.
Can he get to the outside?
Nope. Tackle by number 18, Didi Okoro.
Number 21 in on the stop as well.
I don't know number 21.
Samuel Milson.
Yeah, Samuel Milsom, DB.
First down on their own 24-yard line. Still in the first quarter. Scores 14-0. So Twins left, under the center.
Oh, fumbled
Another
snap.
fumbled exchange.
Oh, that's going to be a face mask. Yep.
So we saw the Cats come out under center with a two-man backfield and a tight end, or at least a slot lined up very close. But poor center QB exchange.
Personal foul, face cage on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
That's number 3, Jack Priest there on the defense, I think, had that penalty. It was really unfortunate. It was just he's sort of reaching down. And
It's one of those plays where he wasn't sure whether he was going for the ball or going for the ball carrier because he didn't appear to have 100% control of it. I don't think it was malicious.
No. That's why I'm surprised they gave it actually the personal foul. I'm not sure at this level do they have the inadvertent face
I
cage.
think that's been removed. There is just a face cage and a face cage foul.
Yep.
There used to be the 5 yard where it was inadvertent. I think that's been removed.
Okay. Surprised they went under center. Maybe they had the snapping problems in the first drive.
We've got a 20 front. So one high for the Cheetahs.
The Cheetahs look like they're coming, but Cats show great defense, patience there, remaining in their stance, not flinching in the face of a quick, the people coming. For young players, that's a really impressive patience there to be able to stay still when they know that people are coming.
So 1st and 5 on their own 44-yard line.
So
First time they've had decent field position. Still under center against that 20 front.
Looks like the ball's going back again this time. Let's hope the Cats can, it'd be nice if they can get some positive momentum out of this. Like you said, build for the future.
Pitch left. And he's met immediately in the backfield by 2 Cheetah defenders. Number 90.
Number 55, I believe, is the other tackler there. Really the one who got the penetration quickly. I believe both the 2 down linemen got penetration, disrupted that play from the beginning.
I mean, the Cheetahs defense here with only 1 high and man on the outside are playing a 24 box. They've got a lot of linebackers who look to be well coached and that are flowing to the ball. They're lining up well. So drops back in shotgun, looks left, flushed left.
Smart throw away there.
This Cats offense really struggling to slow down the pressure from a 2-man front.
I think that's the indicative of the game in general in the UK. The thing that's going to make the best teams better and is really getting those big men up front and getting a lot of experience in the O-line. The good teams up and down, both all divisions of the adult game and the junior game. It's really the O-line that makes or breaks the team.
So it brings up 3rd and 15. Twins right, shotgun, 2 backs.
Throws off his back foot. Oh.
It's in and out of the hands of number 42. He read it superbly.
Yeah, that was a poor throw by Oliver Martin. He threw off his back foot. Number 42, I believe that's Dylan Bayless, who had that nice run back on the free kick before. Wasn't able to corral that one in.
If you'd have caught that, there was a good chance he could have taken that all the way back. So Cats picking up a bit of good fortune. Brings up 4th and 15. It's the first time we'll see them punt.
I think Dylan Bayless is not going to look forward to seeing that film again on there on Monday. That's going to be pretty embarrassing. That was an easy pick 6, I think.
Number 88. Jameer Stewart Sinclair back to return.
We usually just call him Jay. The name's a little hard.
It's a low bobbled snap. Manages to get it away. And it's fumble, he's touched it.
Okay, there's another flag down over in the far side.
So cuts back right again.
Oh, nice tackle by number 90. That was Tariq Johnson.
So So we'll just see what the flag is. Probably something to do with poor blocking.
Yep.
Block in the back or hold, which will bring them back again off a good return.
Was the Cheetahs are making a lot of the mistakes here that they can't make. They played the Kent Exiles last week, and unfortunately they came up short against Kent, who played basically a perfect game. Like Jonathan was mentioning before, those mistakes can really cost a team at this level.
Yeah, speaking to the Cheetahs junior head coach, he was saying the one thing that really cost them is it's the first real physical team they've played, and it said it took his team 3 or 4 drives to adjust the level of physicality, at which point they were a couple of scores behind. And at this level, if both teams are executed, 2 scores or thereabouts is very difficult to come back from.
Okay, I have a little trouble with the ref's mic. Okay, should be the end of the quarter.
That was a 15-yard penalty for a personal foul. I don't know what it is, but probably a block in the back.
It was another block in the back.
Yeah, it's a real interesting one. Time expired on the play, but because there was a sort of like a defensive penalty, they have to play an untimed down at the end of the quarter. So this will be the last play of the quarter before they switch over.
So go back to 2-man backfield, twins right. Cheetahs have the ball spotted on their own 25-yard line. That's the second large return called back for a penalty.
Yeah, the Cats need to take advantage of these penalties that the Cheetahs are committing.
So it looked like cover 0 from the Cats.
There's Luke McCorkindale-Brown on the outside.
Breaks 1 tackle.
Nice spin move.
I mean, this is really intelligent play calling. The coach is utilising the strengths of his personnel in this offense. You've got number 44, who for such a big kid can move, and we saw him throw a great open field block there. And then what you've got is a player like number 26 in space with the ball, full speed. He's a difficult guy to get to, and when he's moving, he's a difficult guy to bring down.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Luke is 18. He's really been a revelation. He's played a lot of rugby before, but this, as I said, this is his first exposure to American football. And you know, he's going to be going off to uni next year. Hopefully he can make a positive contribution there and gets even more coaching and develop the game. And we've been really blessed.
And hopefully come back to the Cheetahs.
I was just about to say that. We've been really blessed with a lot of the uni teams coming back, the uni players, coming back and contributing to the Cheetahs. Not only as players, but also coming back as coaches. So we have even currently some of the coaches that we have on the team are players maybe at the University of Hertfordshire just down the road, but they're also players that played up until they got to uni and have come back when they can on weekends and things to help out.
It's a really nice situation for the university again to transition. You've got great universities in the region, both academically and football-wise, but also one of the things we struggle with at Durham and up at the Vikings is that you've got the draw of London. But with all those people who graduate and go and get jobs in London, this is close enough to come out and still play for your home club.
So number 25, we have a late flag. I think that's a late hit on number 55. So great effort by the ball carrier, number 26. He just refused to be brought down, but I think we've got a late hit.
Yeah, that's number 25 that time, not number 26. That was Ashley Gatala. It was a nice open field dropping the shoulder and getting some contact, but unfortunately I think that's getting called back, as you said.
Yes, I mean, talking about fundamentals at this level, the Cambridgeshire Cats defence, guys not making an effort to wrap up there, so as soon as they bounced off the clearly bigger, stronger player. So a 9-yard gain gets pushed back 15 yards.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's got to be with the 4th or 5th personal foul that the Cheetahs have committed today. It's nuts.
I know that last week in that loss, they turned the ball over 7 times, the head coach was saying, and you just can't expect to make mistakes, either turnovers or penalties. You expect to compete against quality programs.
Yeah, there's unfortunately some mistakes made, and as I said, the Exiles just played the perfect game and took advantage of every mistake.
2nd and 16. And it's fumble.
Ball's down.
They've that's recovered by Cheetahs.
I think Ashley Gatala there was met in the backfield by number 90 of the Cats. That's Tariq Johnson, who's really been actually showing some good physicality up the middle.
I mean, he made a definite effort to try go for the ball on that tackle. That was a real intelligent play.
Yep, he punched it right out. His hand got right in there, punched that ball out. Luckily, Ashley was able to recover his own ball. It does set them back even further for a third and quite long.
20.
That was really the first quality defensive play we've seen out of the Cats. That was a really impressive penetration.
So got a bunch left. Give up the middle. And number 90 again
that's
on the stop.
Tariq Johnson tackling Alex Cameron, number 3 there for I believe is either kept no gain or maybe a yard. So we'll have the punt team out here for the first time for the Cheetahs.
So, I mean, costly mistakes for the Cheetahs, but also some decent plays off for Cats defense. Number 90 and number 50 starting to stamp their authority on this game.
And number 90 coming back for the kick return. That's quite a flexibility. Usually don't see defensive ends down there returning the kickoff.
Number 90 might be one of the better athletes on this team. So
definitely
get the ball in your athlete's hands, all this space, to see if you can pick up some blocks downfield.
Yeah, he's a big man
good
too.
Return here to set them up. They're only 16 points down.
Yeah, he's on the 40, on his own 40. So hopefully he'll be able to return it onto his own. That's a nice kick.
To punt, but it looks like he's going to.
A little fumble it. Returns on the 25.
Cuts back. And he's down. That is unfortunate.
Slipped there. Number 13, Jack Stedell, was there in the deep coverage. That was an opportunity the Cats unfortunately weren't able to take advantage of.
So it gives the Cats a fresh set of downs on their own 27-yard line, trailing 16-0 in the second quarter.
And we haven't seen number 59 back on the field from the Cats who took that injury early. The 59 or 79, it was 79 that hasn't come back yet. That may be one of the reasons why the Cheetahs are able to get some penetration out there.
We see number 90 is playing tight end as well, and he was touted by the head coach as one of the players to watch. We've already seen him on special teams and defense. Give right, he's got a little bit of space. Another
penalty.
flag in the backfield.
Oh, ball on the ground.
I think that's going to be called back, probably a holding in the backfield.
That's unfortunate for the Cats. It looked like they got their first real quality offensive play there. A sweep to the right side, number 51, the ball carry. That's Dinesh Kumar Vijay. He looked like he got the ball cleanly, was getting out to the outside. Looked like he had some outside contain, but maybe it was there because of that hold. Unfortunately, that's Tariq Johnson. Yep. Here we go, talking about him, how good he's playing, and next play.
It's the commentator's curse. Yeah. That's a horrible penalty to pick up on first down. It brings up first and 20. It's a real drive killer.
It can be, and especially when they have their first positive offensive play, to have it come back that way. Let's see how the young Cats can step up from that, and as I said, come back with a new play.
So give right again, cuts back up the middle, immediately met.
Maybe a yard gain. That's again number 51, Dinesh Kumar Vijay. Thought he saw a hole there, bounced it closed there pretty quickly.
I believe it was number 55 on the top of the tackle, Robert Simpson. Still in a 20 front.
So it looks like a crowd is starting to pick up here at the Cheetah home ground. Lots of players from the senior team getting ready, but lots of family and friends, but also people from last year's junior team. I see them on the sideline.
So a fumbled snap. That is a dangerous throw, which inevitably results in a pick six for number 42.
That's Dylan Bayless. That actually was picked up by number 51, the running back. I don't know what he was thinking there by throwing the ball.
I think he was just trying to get it away from danger. what we've got there is just inexperience of these,
Yeah, it
these
is.
young players.
Yep. You know, the Cats, head coach there showing some frustration on the sideline. As a head coach myself, I know what it's like when you spend all this time coaching your players and to see them make mistakes like that. It can be really frustrating.
It's all part of the learning process, Phil. It's all
Yep.
part of the learning process. So third touchdown for the Cheetahs, this time by way of defensive score.
Yep.
Number 42 on the pick 6. Number 10 out to attempt the extra point.
That's Josh Miller Hall. It should be an offside.
And it's blocked.
Look like
No flags.
Looked like the right end on the Cats came pretty quickly.
So we have our first unsuccessful extra point attempt.
Want to do a quick addition there? What the score is now?
22-0.
There you go. We'll have you teaching maths next year.
Well, I am a math teacher, so
It is. Oh no.
so simple arithmetic tends to stump me.
So it's calculus. You understand the A-level maths. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I used to be a math teacher myself. So.
As did Jonathan.
Oh no.
Rooney. I'm not sure what this is telling people. All three of your commentators currently have at some point worked as maths teachers. You do know that could get us a job as a writer on The Simpsons. The majority of the script writers on The Simpsons are maths graduates.
I'm not a math graduate, but I did do math teaching. It just shows the math background gives you an extra level of intelligence. I'm just going to go there.
Vince Lombardi was a teacher. If he's a good enough advert.
Well, I was actually, thinking, reading the other day, all the best coaches are teachers at heart.
Absolutely.
And especially at this level, and even at this stage of the game in the sport in this country. It's all about educating, and as you said, the fundamentals on both of the under 16s and under 19s.
That is a good kick. It sits up. Fields it cleanly. Looking to follow number 9. Lead block. Picks up one block. Sends it about the 26-yard line, 25-yard line.
That's number 33, Alexander Warburton. Got a good positive 15-some-odd yards there in the return.
One thing I will say about this Cheetahs. Clearly well managed. You can see the units changing cleanly and quickly. There's never been anybody missing from a set of downs. You can see the value of having committed coaches and a large number of them. The team's functioning particularly well on the sideline.
Yeah.
That usually translates to on-field success as well.
Yeah, it's the number of the coaches they have really does help.
Twins right, tight end right, trips right. Drops back.
Nice
snap,
snap, got some
flushed
time.
left.
Makes a smart throw, throwing it away. Coverage was there. Flag over there on the far side of the field.
Do we have too many men in the backfield, perhaps, or too many on the line of scrimmage?
9-man football is you need to have 5 men on the line of scrimmage.
It looked to me like all 3 receivers might have been on the line, putting 6 on the line of scrimmage.
There's no maximum, though, I don't think. I don't know. They're waving off the flag.
Okay.
Okay. I guess there was a questionable block. Referees conferred there.
So we have a timeout.
I guess it's timeout. So far we've seen some really quality, calling by the referees, and that goes back to the referee, issues we were talking about before.
Yeah, I'll give them another plug. www.bafra.info. One thing we need in this game is qualified and experienced referees. It is a paid position. It's not paid massively well, but it's certainly paid, and it's something that somebody that's interested in the game and maybe never played before and interested, or is retired, or wants to do something in their off season. A refereeing qualification means that you can travel around, experience other teams, experience other games, other levels of football. It's a good way to see the game around your area. So, I mean, do you have anything in place at this club? Because it's a well set up club with great backroom support for promoting refereeing.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we're going to start looking into more. That we've established the teams and the players. It's something that we're really looking to add to what we can give back to the game. Is getting out there and contributing referees, encouraging some of our senior players who are no longer playing to help out, because quality refereeing is going to be another one of these things that helps grow the game.
Okay, brings up 2nd and 10. One thing I will say, number 17 quarterback for the Cambridgeshire Cats is very cool under pressure.
He is indeed. He's made some smart decisions.
False start. But here's the thing, and I'm going to put this to Jonathan here. Jonathan, you've got a quarterback at number 17 who's got a reasonable arm, but what he does have is calmness under pressure. And me personally, I'd look to put him in either spread or empty and make the Cheetahs defend the pitch. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they've got to find some way of stymieing the pressure a little bit, and being in this 2-back formation allows all 4 of the Hertfordshire linebackers to be active in the blitz, and lets them disguise quite a lot of stuff, so spreading the field would be a good idea. But I think as well, we're just seeing a little bit too much overcomplication. The receivers are moving pre-snap. They tried to go on 2 and got a false start. Little things like that. Like, if you aren't ready to do that, just get lined up and go on go, and let's cut out the mistakes first of all, because whether he's calm under pressure or not, if he's constantly in 1st and 15, constantly, it's not gonna work out in the long run.
So one thing I will mention, I mean, this Cats coaching staff is much smaller than Cheetahs. So the coaches for this Cats team are working exceptionally hard.
Absolutely.
I'm not denigrating their efforts here, but it shows you what a team sport this is. And it goes to that coaching and back room, a false start for number 90. I mean, you only need to look at this overall programme here at the Cheetahs being promoted from Div 1 last year to
from Div 2 to Div 1.
Div 2 to Div 1, and looking at a playoff run this year, and you look around here at the club and you see the level of support, the level of coaching, the level of organisation. That translates directly onto the field.
Yeah, I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't call out Luke Clark, our chairman, and really compliment the job that he's done, and really, getting up in the next level on this in this club.
Okay, 3rd and 20.
Ball of tips. One of the things I could see number 17 doing, he seems to be relatively immobile.
Yeah, why aren't we rolling him out?
Rolling out, a design rollout to the side. He's being chased off to the left-hand side, which is tough for a right-handed quarterback to make a throw in the move. But the design rollout to the right, he seems to give him some extra time. And as I said, he seems to be relatively mobile, so maybe they can get that going. But now we've got a punt very far back in the own end zone, probably punting out of the end zone or just in front.
About 3 yards shy, but we've seen problems with a long snap from a special teams unit. It's high, but it gets there. Good pressure.
Oh, a really nice punt too.
Gets it away though. Number 88.
Oh,
he's playing a dangerous
96.
game. That's great. Great open
coverage.
Open field tackle from number 96.
That's Jasper Reed. He got down there in a hurry, and
number 88, Jay Stewart Sinclair, playing a dangerous game. I mean, he really lost his awareness of where the chasing defenders were on that play.
And hopefully he's okay. He's limping on his ankle there.
Yeah, looks like ankle. As you said previously, this is a very hard pitch.
It is.
Tough on the ankles.
Take this opportunity to say a little bit of sorry for the earlier technical troubles. It is quite hot here. We had a little bit of overheating equipment, but we believe we've solved it now. So hopefully the stream should be nice and smooth from here on out.
Number 90 on the tackles, a 4-man rush, 3 down linemen and the outside linebacker. Inside handoff. 7-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 3. And we do have a 100-yard pitch today. So the ball spotted almost exactly on the halfway line.
Yeah.
Cheetahs in bunch left formation. And I think Cats have gone cover 0. Or is that cover 1 over the top of the bunch formation? Drops back, flushed out.
Oh, that was a
great grab by number 18. Breaks the tackle, in for the score. I mean, the quarterback had no right to throw that ball. He was throwing to one of the few covered receivers, but what a great individual effort by number 18.
That's number 18, Didi Okoro.
He is a big target.
A big target. Another one of our Bucks imports there from the Wolves that came over from their youth team last year.
He literally wrestled that ball away and pushed the defender off.
Yeah, that was triple coverage if I've ever seen it.
Took a long time to get going, but once he was moving, there was no bringing him down.
Yeah, I mean, Didi is probably in the 6'5" range, which
he came all the way over on either a dig or some sort of post pattern.
Yeah, he's a big, strong boy.
So going for 2 for the first time this match. Inside zone right. He's hitting the backfield as he stops short.
Oh, it's going to be on the call.
Stand.
Yeah.
By the Cats, they can take heart from that.
So that last play, Louis Groom and Didi Okoro matching up there. They played together last year in the Bucks squad, so maybe there was some familiarity. That was,
I mean, that's one of those plays, though, as a coach, when you review it on tape, you've got to say you shouldn't have thrown that football. I mean, it was a great individual effort, but I was thinking double coverage, you were thinking triple coverage. It was a poor decision. It turned out well for them, but if you're going to try and beat these top teams, for example, London Blitz, that's not a throw you're expecting them to make.
No. I mean, the other thing that was a little question about the call, you can throw into a tall receiver, but you got to get the ball up. That ball was at waist level, so it's even more dangerous that way. That makes the play all the more remarkable because of the way he was able to pull that ball out of that tight combination.
So you mentioned number 18 plays Bucks. Which team does he
He played last year the Bucks Wolves youth team, and the juniors, the Buckinghamshire Wolves. Unfortunately, their junior team wasn't able to field a squad, so a lot of the players were able to come over here, and that's really indicative of the way that some of the junior teams are getting together. We've got in the Southeast, we've got the Southeast Legion. Combination of some teams from Essex.
33 bobbles it. Oh, he takes a big hit from number
Ball
5.
down.
The ball pops out.
I think that's recovered by Luke McCorkindale Brown. Big hit by number 5, Lucas Cornwall.
I mean, he put a lick on him. So it's ruling down by contact. The Cats keep the ball.
That's one of the things I'd like to see the replay official on that one. Unfortunately, this level not there, but I don't think he ever went down. So, as I was saying, the junior game, the under-19s, there a lot of teams in the South are getting consortiums of teams. So we're getting like the Southeast Legion as combinations of several youth teams. We've got the Thames Valley Tigers as a combination of Swindon and Reading, coming together from their youth teams all into one. And then so us, we're still Hertfordshire Cheetahs, but we're pulling some players over from Bucks, from the Bedfordshire area. So it's really, allows us to still field quality teams.
So he's in a quarterback.
Well, it's a new quarterback, number 32.
Number 32, and he's immediately hit.
So number 32, that is Jaden Whitaker, number 32.
I mean, he was given no opportunity. There was pressure from all 4 Russian defenders, 2 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and he was swamped. Now, at this point, you've seen that your running backs aren't giving you particularly good pass protection when they've gone max pro and kept them in. At this point, you think start to spread the field and negate the rush.
Could go back to that pitch play that they seem to have some success with before.
Trips right to the narrow side, drops back, looks over the middle, screen to number 90, clean grab.
This is a nice positive gainer.
He's clearly a strong player. He picked up 4 yards after contact.
That's a number 90, Tariq Johnson. I've called his number a few times today. He's been really a standout light, point of light there for the Cambridgeshire Cats.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
see if they can, even converting a first down at this stage is going to be a positive thing for the Cats.
Well, we've had 2 plays and 2 passes attempted.
This might be a good idea for that sweep, just to get that extra yard. They don't really seem to have the power back that can get that single yard up the middle.
I think as well, offensive line-wise, they're struggling in terms of size. Good snap, drops back, pressure up the middle.
Oh.
Throws off the back foot. That is a beautiful catch.
Number
7 had great coverage.
William Browning there.
Number 7, Josh Drummond, had beautiful coverage, but QB threw off the back foot. It was slightly high. The receiver broke back to the ball, just made a great individual effort for that first down.
That's a really positive thing. The Cats can hopefully build on that. I think we're coming to the end of the first half, and hopefully they can get a little momentum going. They should have the ball back at the beginning of the second half too. So it'd be nice to get some momentum going on offense and have that converting over to the second half.
So as we're looking on the screen, the wind is blowing from right to left. They do have a tailwind at the moment. Number 90 lined up left, stays in pass pro. Handoff up the middle, and 2-3 yard loss.
Is met by number 90, Marcin Kierik.
If you look at the size differential of these 2 lines, though, I mean, the Cats are undersized. They're only facing a 2-man front, but the defensive linemen for the Cheetahs are significantly larger.
Yeah.
And you look at the middle backers for the Cheetahs as well. I mean, I think they're bigger than the Cats' offensive line as well. So it's very difficult for that inside run to be effective when you're overmatched or mismatched physically.
Yeah, that's why I'm suggesting that outside run. You get pressure up the middle. The solution is go outside.
Number 50 on a middle blitz. 32 rolls right, throws over the middles, in and out of the hands of number 7.
That's William Browning made that nice grab before. Unfortunately, couldn't come down with it. Even if he had caught it, he was going to be tackled right away, probably for a small gain.
So it brings up 3rd and 12.
And it's got to be around 40 seconds left here in the first half. Sorry.
Now the score's currently 28-0. A score here for the Cats will give them real heart going into half-time.
I think even just a couple more first downs would even be enough.
Drops back to pass, looks right.
Ball's tipped.
And there's a flag for late hit on the quarterback against number 44.
That's Camille Durack. Unfortunately, wasn't able to contain
his enthusiasm for meeting the quarterback.
It is. I mean, it's, players at this age, they get excited. They see a quarterback. They see hit the quarterback.
As importantly, that brings up a fresh set of downs.
And it moves
the 41-yard line. We're in striking, I think, 2 passes and we could be in here. So
that could be a big penalty here.
I mean, once again, the Cheetahs, who have clearly had the better play, of shooting themselves in the foot with penalties.
The discipline hasn't been there today. It'll be up to Coach Alex Helms to sort that out.
So 3-man rush, drops back,
ball.
lets it go for number 90.
Oh, that is quite the catch.
And I mean, now it's got to be defensive pass interference, but number 90 refuses to let that stop him catching the ball. That is a beautiful
Tariq Johnson. That was a really nice deep ball.
And that was in double coverage.
And I don't think either one of the cornerbacks turned around to make a defensive play on the ball.
I don't think they had the speed. They were just they were playing catch up. I mean, that's intelligent play by the cornerbacks because they were beat deep. Where was the help from the safety, you might ask? But rather than giving up the touchdown, they gave up the penalty.
Yeah, the ball was underthrown a bit, which.
Now the Cats have already taken a couple timeouts.
Yes, that's going to be. There's timeout there on the Cheetah sideline.
Yeah, they'll be trying to slow the game down, make sure their defense lines up properly because this is the first real chance the Cats have had. It's 1st and 10 on about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, and
maybe about the 11-yard line.
It's really important that the Cheetahs can keep them out of the end zone, not concede any points, because as they are contending for a playoff spot, it might come down to that second differentiator of points conceded.
Well, at this point, I mean, Jonathan, I'm going to say as a defensive coordinator, we need to double team number 90 because he's clearly been the man that's been the target. He's a big, strong, physical player.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding number 7's great grab, he is their go-to guy.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to disrupt his release. You can't let him. You can't let him turn it into a track meet right from the snap. I can see someone bringing a disruption and a late rush. Perhaps not the full double, but number 2, the safety needs to locate him immediately. I think it's number 5 actually at safety. The safety's only playing about 6 to 7 yards off the ball.
Good snap for number 90 again.
And that's going to. They started the game at linebacker, but they've kind of put him to free safety now.
That's an unusual call, Jonathan, because they had both of their 2 main receivers, number 7 and number 90, both do crossing routes going into that 2-4 box. There's a lot of congestion. They're really not trying to spread this defense out currently.
Well, it could be sort of the mesh concept coming in there, where they're expecting the people to run past and out the other side, trying to get a little bit of confusion, trying to get a little bit of a rub, but the quarterback just doesn't have enough time to complete the full mesh.
So motion left for number 90, gives left, cuts back. We've got a flag on the play.
It looks like 5 man in the back, too many men in the backfield. By going into motion, he put himself off the line, which is going to make it so I think that's going to be the penalty.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a strange call because obviously he's hot right now and he's had a
all
few big plays, but all eyes are on him. And when you motion him and the linebackers are allowed to free flow, they've moved a linebacker to free safety who's going to get downhill on it, and there were no real lead blockers for him because there were no receivers on this side of the field. It's a bit of a call where you're just saying this is all we got, which isn't ideal. Phil was spot on with his call. It's too many men in the backfield due to 90 motioning off the line.
Yeah, that's a common call, unfortunately, at this level.
So it brings up 3rd and 9.
The other thing that made that call a little questionable is I don't believe the Cats have any timeouts left.
They've certainly called 2 already. Drops back under pressure again. Looks over the middle for number 90.
Oh, nice defense there by number 28.
Number 5 came over as well, just did enough to bring it up. So it's 4th down.
So they're going to go for here. See what
they have to go for it. They're trailing 28-0. They're playing a team that's outplayed them so far. You have to try go for the score. I mean, it's something positive to take.
Right, as we said, if they can get a score.
Oh, we're going for a field goal.
Okay. Strange call.
So the ball will be spotted, kicked from probably the 19-yard line. So
29-yard
with a
field goal.
tailwind blowing from their right to left.
Kicker number 7, William Browning.
It's blocked. Ball is live.
Number 5, Lucas Cornwall. Kicker makes the tackle there. There's a flag down
as well on the far sideline. Be interesting to see how long this half has left, Phil.
Don't think it's got much time left. Which makes that call a little weird. I mean, going down, getting that touchdown right at the end of the half could really have lifted them up. So now that there's a 5-yard penalty, they might and they've taken the timeout there.
They're taking a timeout, so maybe they're going to have this conversation that we're having up here.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, Coach Rooney, we've not seen him throw anything towards the corner. They've targeted number 90. What are you thinking? What would you call right now?
Well, again, you always ask me this. It's always about knowing your own players and the time and the location and stuff. But I think that you're going to guarantee that 90's going to get triple covered. I really like to see him on motion in a legal formation, draw the whole defense, maybe have a play action and try and pop someone out against the flow. Maybe align number 7 into this boundary and have him go to the far corner. Some sort of misdirection where you're going to get them all to bite on 90. So we have a live DJ today, and he's decided that this is the moment it's jumping off.
Well, jungle is massive, Jonathan. Phil, what are you looking to do as a defensive coordinator for the Cheetahs here?
You got to watch number 90. I think pressure up the middle and quick pressure is going to really be everything. Getting giving that quarterback no time to get the ball out to whoever they're getting it out to.
Down and go.
So we're looking for both Marcin and Camille up the middle. I believe they'll probably blitz both linebackers.
Interesting to see whether they put a 20 or 30 front up. So still going for a field goal.
Really?
4th and 4 on the 7-yard line. The ball will be spotted on about the 12.
Yeah, we look out for the fake
Coach
here.
Rooney's saying fake to me. Yes, we have a release on a corner.
Great.
So
They
he called out. Number 92 was really slow to release. The
number-
left end was untouched on a corner to the left-hand side of the offense. Number 25, but the quarterback didn't see him.
I think the snap being high and slow really,
His
disrupted the
intended
timing.
receiver on the right-hand side actually stopped running and looked at him, so he wasn't able to lead him out with the ball.
Yeah, it was really the strong pressure from the center of the Cheetah defensive line disrupted that play, combined with the center snap being a little high.
Coach Rooney called it the fake field goal, and down to execution that he didn't convert, because there was the potential of a score on that play.
But I'd like to go back to what Jonathan said before about, as a young team, I think you got to just go with the fundamentals. I don't think
Blitz everyone now and get a safety.
Uh-oh.
Number 89 bounces off.
Good running from the Cheetahs.
And I think what we're seeing here now, Phil, is the first little bits of fatigue setting in on this Cats team. So number 90, who's been playing
Pretty
three
much
sides
every
of the
snap,
football. Missed the tackle. So hopefully they can contain him and take this 28-0 score into the second half. Hand off to number 44, bounces right. It's brought down by number 90.
Great tackle from the Cambridgeshire Cats.
Picks up about 5, bringing up 3rd and 5. Sorry, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, the number 90 went in there. He was trying to get that ball out.
He's already stripped one previously.
Yep, I think getting the ball back, getting a quick opportunity to put the ball back in the end zone for the Cats would be really, again, another positive sign to take into halftime.
So just being informed by Coach Rooney that 35-point differential brings up a running clock. But we're currently 28-0 to the Cheetahs. Blitz from the free safety. So number 50 and number 33.
I think that's the first play they've had for negative yardage there. Number 33 of the Cats is Alexander Warburton. We've actually seen his name called a few more times today.
And number 50, Lewis Rame on the stop. In nose tackle position.
The timeout here. 2-minute warning. Thought it was further along than that.
So they score here, and now we're running clock the whole. Well, if they get the extra point for the second half. Yeah, but that's what I mean. But for the whole second half, but the whole clock it's going to eliminate the time so quick.
We're just discussing the running clock rule of one more score by the Cheetahs is going to implement the running clock
In the second half.
Yeah.
A motion left. That might be
that's going to be
a start. So I believe the play design was motion left, fake jet left, give right to number 26, but a full start by number 26. Apologies, that's full start on number 85. So Cheetahs attempted a bit of misdirection on the play design. 3rd and 11.
The two-back set again.
Motion again, man coverage, and that's going to be full start again. Number 26 shifted his weight.
Really, the discipline of the Cheetahs here is really not great today.
Yeah, I mean, the head coach talked about building up to a position where they're going to play the London Blitz. And he's acknowledged that they are the team to beat in this conference, and you simply cannot expect to beat a title contender making this level of mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, not only the team to beat in this conference, but they're the team to beat in the country. They're last year's national champs. They are looking to be as strong as they were last year.
So it brings up 3rd and 15 on their own 20-yard line.
That's a solid play.
Number 89, one-on-one, bounces off. Number 51 on the stop.
Tackle there. That's Dinesh Kumar Vijay again.
So that was a nice setup play. The previous 2 plays have tried to fake the jet left and hand right. This time they faked the jet right, jet left, kept the jet man as a lead blocker, had the halfback go right, but gave it to the fullback to the left with the lead blocker. It was a nice play.
Unfortunately, another flag down. I think this is going to go on the Cheetahs again.
That's a costly penalty, takes them all the way back.
That's 3rd and basically half the pitch there, so to get the first down. That's the 3rd penalty in a row, I believe.
For a 3rd and impossible.
I think you were slightly more diplomatic. We've had it described as 3rd and impossibly long, and you only called it 3rd and half the pitch. I think these are 2 new phrases. I've never heard either of these.
You're only ever 1 PI away from a first down.
The Cats have been a disciplined team here. They've only committed a few penalties on offense. We're looking for things for the Cats to bring in to get positives to come out of this half.
It's got Bunch left. Expecting some sort of pass, perhaps pass out the backfield. See what number 33 is doing on the edge. Now we give up the middle. Number 90 on the stop again.
Got off his blocker really quickly and was able to make that tackle. That was an excellent play by number 93. Thompson.
I mean, number 90's been consistent in his tackling, and you've got to question the wisdom of running the ball directly at the one player on that Cats defense that stood out.
Yep. To be honest, I was thinking that it was going to be that short screen that the Cheetahs have in their arsenal.
Play action and
something to get the ball outside.
So we've not long since we've had the 2-minute warning, so that the Cheetahs punting from deep in their own half into wind.
Wind's picked up quite considerably today too, so we'll see how that goes.
Return is lined up fairly deep. We'll probably have to adjust towards the ball, but better adjust towards the ball and backwards.
In this scenario, I'd almost go 9-man rush, let the ball bounce there at the end zone, try and get the block. I mean, the kicker is on his own 10.
So this is the first time we've seen a lack of organisation from the Cheetahs sideline.
Yep, that's to take a timeout.
So they appear to only have 8 men on the pitch. They're running out of time, so sensibly they've taken a timeout. Do nothing stupid.
I don't think they got the timeout. Enough delay of game.
So another penalty for the Cheetahs. So I was mistaken, they didn't call a timeout. It was a delay of game penalty.
It took too long for them to recognize it. I think, again, I would really get the 9-man rush everybody, try and block this ball. Because the out of his end zone, on his own goal line, into the wind.
Yeah, I don't think the punt's actually going to... Oh, we go fake right. That's a gutsy call. Number 90's there again.
I think they're looking
once again, they run it towards number 90's side.
Ball's out. Recovered.
They run it towards number 90's side, and he makes the tackle.
I think what they may have been looking for, they might recognize the dangerous location of the kick and the time that's left. I believe the Cats, I think they are out of the timeouts. They may have been just looking to end the half. But the Cats are going to get a couple plays here.
I mean, we've seen the Cats have gone to the passing game much more than the start of the game, and you don't need a lot of time. So now they take over once again in great field position on the Cheetahs' 21-yard line. The fresh set of downs.
They've got Oliver Martin come back in as a quarterback.
Number 17.
Number 17. It's a little surprising. Number 32 had been moving the ball relatively well.
But I think what we saw was at number 17 is we had a slightly different focus on the offense. They were trying to establish a run game, which wasn't successful.
Yep.
So we've got a tight end, left, twins right, 2-man backfield.
Roll out left.
There's literally
Throws the ball
nobody
away.
out there for him to
Another
find.
penalty over on the far side of the pitch there.
Number 7, the best receiver's not on the field. The purest receiver.
So number 7's currently not on the field. I'm informed by Coach Rooney. Made a great grab on about 2 drives ago.
Looks like it's going to go against the Cats. About mark the ball off. False start or a hold. From that side of the pitch, though, strange hold call.
Procedure on the offense, in the backfield, penalty, first down.
As I mentioned before, you've got to have 5 men on the line. Usually you've got your 3 down linemen and then 2 wide receivers.
So Cheetahs showing a 4-man rush, and they send 4. Number 17's flushed out. Looks downfield at number 90, but makes an intelligent throw there. He threw it high and wide.
Nobody's going to get
picked
that.
off.
Nope. But again, actually, we were talking earlier about the running backs not giving the extra pass protection. That actually, number 51 hung in there and gave a really good block on a rushing lineman to give number 17, Oliver Martin, a little extra time to make that throw. Unfortunately, nobody could get open for him.
I mean, both those outside linebackers are blitzing. Who would cover a back on a swing pass out the backfield? Because you're not gaining time by going max pro. Over the middle to number 90.
Off his hands. Ball a little high. Crossing routes, I always tell my quarterbacks, you've got to get that crossing route. You can't get that ball high if you want to keep your friends as wide receivers. Because usually the ball gets tipped up off their hand. You got to get that ball right in that chest, right in the gut in those crossing routes.
So it brings up 3rd and about 14. Very slow to line up. The referee's asking them to hurry up. Drops back to pass. Rolls left.
There's a hold on the offense.
There's number 23.
Okay.
And we have another late flag. I think maybe some words were exchanged after the play.
Cats have been showing a lot of discipline here, and they've had a little bit of breakdown.
So we've had
Frustration
we've
coming
had a
in.
flag probably for holding, but another late flag. It'd be interesting to see what that one was for.
I was watching the ball in the air, and unfortunately I didn't see something going on with the quarterback.
So we have 2 fouls. Holding against the Cats, roughing the passer, personal foul, which brings up an automatic first down for the Cats. So once again, the Cheetahs shooting themselves in the foot with penalties.
And they'll offset. I think those penalties will offset.
So it's offset and still 3rd down.
Still, that's got to be the 5th or 6th or 7th even personal foul on the Cheetahs.
Drops back, rolls right on purpose this time.
Oh, had the receiver open, not ready for it.
I don't think 25 was expecting the ball.
It was wide open.
He had space.
That could have been a nice positive play there for the Cats. Number 25, Ruben.
I mean, for the first time there, Phil, we saw what looked like a pre-designated rollout.
And that's what I was talking about before. I mean, number 17 he's a tall, lanky fellow, but he does move reasonably well. Looks like they're going for another field goal here. This is, again, I got to think that they're going to try a
It's going to
fake.
be spotted on the 34-yard line, so he's going to have to kick it 44 yards.
Unless they've got an NFL-level kicker here, they've got to be going. It's a good kick. Doesn't quite have the leg.
And it
Hits the
hits.
upright.
Well, we can say that guy probably has about a 43-yard range.
He does. That was just it was
With a tailwind.
Yeah, with a tailwind, it would have gone under the crossbar if it had been on center.
But only just. Maybe
Only
by a yard
just.
or
Yeah,
two.
it was
That's an
quite the
impressive
kick. Yeah, and it's a small. Number 7 there is the William Browning. He's a small lad, and so small lad, big leg. I guess we have to call him. Yeah.
So the Cheetahs one more chance on offense. Inside the 2-minute warning, currently leading 28-0.
And to be honest, here, I'd almost play real conservative. Don't go for the
We can
throw
see
the
the
ball away.
free safety is already 25 yards deep.
Yeah,
for the
they're in the
Cats.
prevent defense. I wouldn't. I gotta imagine the Cheetahs are going to play it relatively conservative. They don't want to give up an interception here before halftime.
Hands it up the middle. And immediately met in the backfield by number 50.
Number 50 made an excellent block. It was lined up straight on the center, but Louis Remy was able to get off the block very quickly and make that block tackle. I believe
He's certainly been a solid player at nose tackle today.
Yeah, that's a loss of negative 2 yards. So that's a quality defensive tackle work there.
Cheetahs out in spread, single back, motion.
Okay,
Gives
handoff.
it left in the open field. Nice open field tackle by number 51.
They're going
Middle
hurry up.
linebacker. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Oh, they'll be calling timeout. Timeout for the Cheetahs. They look like they wanted to go into a hurry up.
Hertfordshire at 20 seconds. That is their 3rd and final time out of the half.
So 20 seconds left in the half we heard there. So the half is coming to an end.
Well, I think we can safely say, despite the scoreline, that the Cambridgeshire Cats head coach has got to be happy that he's reached his main objective, that these guys still are playing. They're still giving their all. I know we're only approaching the first half, but it's encouraging to see that they're still going full effort.
Yeah, and they've really got some standout athletes. Some of the names that we've been calling over and over again, making good tackles, catching balls in coverage.
So this is an interesting alignment we have there. Twins right for Hertfordshire, but we don't have a cornerback over the wide man. The free safety's walked over. So on the left-hand side of the field, you've got man coverage with a single receiver.
A lot in motion now.
Pitch right. It's number 51.
Oh, Smart getting out of bounds.
Intelligent play by number 3, getting out of bounds. That's Alex Cameron.
Yeah, he's a smart
Stopping
player.
the clock.
Yep. Getting that first down. I believe he's on the 43, 44 yard line there.
But most importantly, managing to stop the clock.
Yeah, they are still quite some distance away, and there's probably time for maybe one deep ball at best. Louis Groom does have a very strong arm. He can get the ball deep down the sideline. I think that this is the opportunity to try and test that arm and test that safeties.
So the Cats send in 5 by the looks of things to try to limit that quarterback's time to actually throw the ball. Immediately flushed out the pocket. It's a nice offload to number 11.
If you tackled inbounds, that should be the end of the half.
So the Cats gambling there to try and get pressure quickly to stop any long routes from developing.
I think that I was able to speak right. I think they were going to go and try and go deep with that strong arm of Louis Groom, but the Cats defended it very well. Did exactly what I would have done. Brought a lot of pressure.
The first half of this game.
As we mentioned on the onset, the
Cats 0.
Defensive pressure is really what it's all about here. Trying to get the ball up the middle, and getting the pressure up the middle and not giving that quarterback a lot of time. You don't see a lot of deep balls being thrown at this level.
I'm joined by Jack Tripp from the Hertfordshire Cheetahs.
Hello.
You're getting ready for the game, Jack?
Yeah, just about to start warm-ups after this interview.
Okay.
Get going.
Get your press responsibilities out of the way first,
Yeah,
like a
100%.
true professional.
Yeah.
Now you've come to talk to us today because you were actually in the forces.
Yeah, I served 5 years in Royal Marine Commandos. Just up in Scotland.
Right.
Had some quiet times.
Defending the nation.
Yeah, helping out the Navy with our nuclear deterrent.
Right, okay. Well, it's important, and I think days like today are critical in that we recognise these things for the armed forces.
Yeah,
Yeah?
100%.
And, you know, being a player as well, I suppose you see the benefit of that.
Yeah, I do like, we've got a very good strong bond in the team, and I do think it's very important to honour and remember our forces and what they do to keep us safe and able to play the games that we play.
Yeah, the ordinary folks like me, we just take it for granted, you know, and we just assume that we're safe because you guys are out there.
Yeah,
you know,
there's a nice blanket of players around.
Yeah.
And obviously the armed forces that look after keep everyone safe.
Okay, so how many lads have we got playing in the Hertfordshire team that are ex-forces?
Ex-forces, I think we've got 6 or 7 players,
so a good
and a
call
couple
then.
of coaches,
Yeah.
former
Yeah.
serving.
And predictions for the game? I mean, I think you just need to win today to make the playoffs. Is that right?
Win today to secure the playoffs. We beat them last time we played them, but it was a close game.
Yeah. It's just
So-
one score, wasn't it?
Just one score, yeah.
Yeah.
So today should be a good game, nice and close.
Okay,
And
and
we're
you're
looking
playing
forward to
number
it.
51, yeah?
51
Okay,
defensive
we'll be
end. Yeah.
keeping a lookout for you.
Thank you
Thanks for
very
your time.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for the interview.
Have a good day.
Cheers. David! Okay. Yeah. Hertfordshire Cheetahs head coach Craig Barnes. Welcome, Craig.
Pleasure.
Thank you for the invite today.
Of course, no, we're very pleased to have you here. This is a special day for us today with Armed Forces, and also a big game, so what better way to be able to broadcast it for all to see.
Well, just before we talk about the game, is this the first time you've done this event?
That's correct, yes. Yeah, we saw it as a logical time to do it as the Armed Forces Day fell yesterday, so obviously with the game, obviously we didn't know at the start of the season that it would have such connotations, you know. But so that's obviously added to the spice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are you looking to do it in future years too?
I would
Or is it
imagine so.
one-off?
Yes. No. We, you know, as you can see, there's already a lot of interest in it, and it would be something that we would like to do in the future. That's for
I've got to
certain.
say, I'm really impressed with the setup today. There's already about 200 or 300 people here just with the junior game. You know, the main game hasn't started yet.
I know.
So it could get a bit rowdy.
Well, we hope we can fit them all in. It's great to see. It shows there's an appetite for the game, and we hope we can put on a show.
Now, I understand, talking about the game now, I understand you're quite new to the role, is that right?
Yes, this is my second year as head coach. I was defensive coordinator for the seniors previously,
Right.
and I was also a head coach of the juniors a few years ago.
Okay.
Still learning the ropes, as it were.
A sensible development, some would say, or just the next one up?
Sorry, I'm not quite
Being
sure.
junior head coach and defensive coordinator, the next logical step would be to move to head coach.
I see.
Yeah.
There was a gap where I went to the Blitz for a year.
Okay.
And there was
Was that like a punishment or something?
No, it was very much a good learning experience. I had a tremendous mentor in Jason Henry,
Yeah.
and I went back and just sort of relearned the game.
Right.
I felt I needed to do that. So,
Yeah.
it was an an excellent learning experience for me. I'd say I did a year there, and the Cheetahs after the season came knocking and asked me to be defensive coordinator for the seniors. So I couldn't resist.
I think it's a learning experience for all of us, isn't it? You know, every season we pick up something new. And
absolutely.
And move on.
Yes. I coached at Hearts Uni as well for a couple of years. Coached the linebackers.
Well,
and
that's a good program.
Absolutely. Coach Hatcher and the guys there were tremendous mentors for me there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to today's game, I understand that you need to win today to secure a playoff position. You beat Sussex at their place, but in a very close game, I'm told.
That's right. Yeah, we had to come from behind at half time to win it. It was a little bit of a war of attrition, but an exciting war of attrition. Yeah, there was not a lot of run up the gut. It was a good old fashioned tear up.
We were all talking in the hotel last night when we were eating dinner. The UKFL commentary team about close games being much better than shootouts.
Oh, absolutely.
And how games like that, where you've got two evenly matched sides, they're much better for entertainment, whether it be live or whether it be on the screen.
Yes, absolutely. Nobody wants to see a game that's over at half time. We were fortunate last week against Oxford that thanks to our special teams and our defence, we put on 3 touchdowns. Plus a long run from one of our exciting young running backs, and the game was pretty much over at half time. Now, when you see a score like 28-21, which is what we had last time we played Sussex, it's interesting. You wonder how that happened. It wasn't just a one-sided affair, and that's really what we should all be trying to do, is to all be competitive, so that we get competitive games.
Okay. Any particular stars we need to look out for today? Us Northerners have come down to see how the other half lived. So
I see.
We've done a little bit of research, had a few spies and had a few words, but anyone that you can tip us off to keep our eye open for?
Well, yes, I'm pleased to say that Adam Adenergy is back, our running back, who accumulated something like 700 yards in 5 games where he picked up an injury against
earlier
Solent
in the season.
That's right, yeah. He's a very exciting runner. We have 2 new running backs as well that have come on, Hafiz Basirio and Wellington T, who is come from Tamworth.
Right.
And we've got some new receivers as well, including Teo, who's one of our receivers, who's come from Leicester. So, on defence, it's our DBs you want to have a look at. Matt Smith, one of our safeties, he's had 3 pick sixes this season.
Okay. Well, we'll keep a lookout for them. So, good luck today.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for the invite.
No problem at all. Thank you. Cheers.
Okay, I'm joined today by a couple of Army cadets. You can probably see people, Air cadets, I beg your pardon. Well, he's put me right already. We're just going to get back to the game in a second. We're just very quickly. Now, you're working on a particular project where you're trying to raise funds, I believe.
We are, with our wing, 12 of us are going to Borneo, and we are doing multiple things, volunteering, climbing Mount Kinabalu, which is the highest mountain in Malaysia, working at an orangutan sanctuary, doing so much stuff there.
That sounds good fun.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing opportunity for us.
And is it just yourself, or are there a number of you going?
So there is myself, but there is several of us going. It's about 12 of us. going, and quite a few staff to Borneo, and yeah, it's going to be an amazing opportunity.
And you're looking to raise funds specifically, yes?
Yeah, we need to raise funds to get there, raise funds to help fund things like stationery when we go to things like the orphanage. We're going to leave some equipment there for them, try and help them out a bit so they can develop more.
Okay. So do you want to give the GoFundMe page?
So our GoFundMe page is, if you go onto GoFundMe and type up Air Cadets Borneo, we're one of the first results, Hearts and Bucks wing.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
And this young lady is also with the Air Cadets?
Yes.
Yeah? And you're playing football, I believe?
Yes, I'm playing the flag football.
Okay. And how are you enjoying that?
It's really fun, yeah.
How long have you been playing?
Well, we have this time where we've done 6 weeks of training, and then today was like our final game.
How did you get on?
Really good. At first, like none of us could throw or catch the ball, but like at the end, we could all catch and throw the ball.
I think it's important that clubs like Hertfordshire and other teams, get into the youth, and we've seen today, look at that number there, there's probably 30 players, which is really good for a junior setup. So keep it up, and good luck with your trips, and keep on playing.
Cool. Thank you.
Banksy, I'm told he's not the Banksy.
Unfortunately.
There we go. You play with the Cheetahs and you are ex-forces?
Yes, sir. Ex-Royal Artillery 201 battery.
Okay. You don't have to call me sir. I'm not your.
Of course you have it.
It is. I bet. Yeah. It must be something. It must be difficult when you live that military lifestyle to come out and get in.
Yeah. I was lucky. I'm a reservist, so I was in the reserve army. But still, you get that level of respect and camaraderie that you do miss in general civilian street.
So as a reserve, what was your requirement? Were you around?
Basically the same as a regular soldier. The difference is I got to go home.
Okay.
We gave as much time as we could. Yeah. We got deployed just as like any other regular soldiers would. At the moment, a couple of my friends are still out there fighting out with the regulars out in Afghanistan and Iraq at the moment.
Right, okay. That must be difficult still.
At the end of the day, we know what we signed up for. We do what we have to do. It's all about protecting us, ourselves and our family and future friends.
Okay. Well, thanks for that on behalf of us mere mortals. we sort of, I was speaking earlier to another gentleman, we just take it for granted that we're safe in our beds. We don't understand that it takes a lot of training and dedication, and lads like you work hard.
You learn a lot about the world when you come up against things that you kind of see in movies, and you start to appreciate the frailty of life and how especially during the wars, the main wars, what we have now and how we totally take it for granted.
Yeah.
And it makes you appreciate everything a lot more and have a lot more respect for those around you.
Sure. Okay. Well, I think we're getting back to the game, Banksy, so maybe we'll have a chat later.
Beautiful. I look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
I talked to Alex Holmes during the halftime, and they're looking to really clear it up and to actually get the penalties down and play a lot cleaner. The Cats are coming out quickly. They really got some pace out of the halftime. Hopefully they got a little bit of a rest. think they might have took a little too long there and got the delay of game penalty.
So the Cats head coach had a good long chat with his team at half-time. What will he have been saying to them?
I think he's got to say, you've had the opportunities to make some positive contributions here, and it's really now they've got to just execute on the chances that they have. The Cheetahs have been, as mentioned, so I've been playing really undisciplined, really sloppily on the
penalties have really cost them. They could have put this game to bed, by a big margin already, but penalties have really cost them.
Yeah, I talked to the head coach at halftime, and they said they had more penalties and negative yards than they had positive yards on offense, which is never a good sign.
So we see that the first time we've seen it play action to try and freeze that second level, get the linebackers maybe coming downhill when they're trying to roll a QB out and throw the ball. So they've made some adjustments already. What would you be saying to this offense to try and get some success against the Cheetahs defense?
I would say we've got to just execute on the plays that we have. You got to get that pressure, get the ball out quickly, and just start executing. Play to their strengths, get the positive yardage one bit at a time. We don't need to get it all at once.
So fumble snap.
A bad snap.
QB downs it, but he's very close to his goal line. That'll bring up third down on maybe the 3-yard line.
I think it's actually on the 2-yard line. Looks like that's really close, and another bad snap is going to.
Well, that means the quarterback will be stood in the end zone when he takes that shot.
It will
snap.
Indeed.
We have seen them come out under center, but we also saw a fumbled quarterback center exchange from under center. So it's not even that's guaranteed a clean exchange.
Yeah. So we're looking at 30 essentially here, and so I got to believe the Cheetahs are going to come with everything they've got and really try and get those 2 points.
2 linemen, outside linebackers walked up, 4-man rush.
And that's got to be the ball's got to be
close to a
another safety. Touchdown. Looks like the ball is.
So the referee, side judge, signaling a touchdown.
Touchdown.
So that's been a change of possession, which is recovered by the Cheetahs defense.
I'm not even sure who came up with the ball there on the Cheetah sideline. There was it's an unusual play call. I'm not sure I would have gone for a handoff right out of the backfield. They should have gotten the ball outside. I'm really surprised they haven't gone back to that sweep that they were able to get some positive yardage with, despite the hold they had earlier. But they were able to really get the ball outside quickly and
so with that defensive touchdown, it makes the score 34 to Hertfordshire Cheetahs, the Cambridgeshire Cats 0. Looking for a 2-point conversion from bunch right. Pitches left. It's man number 26 again. It's met in the backfield by number 40, who does enough to turn him inside, and he's brought down. So that brings us a 34-point lead. That's not enough to start the running clock. I mean, this is where, Jonathan, I'm going to speak to you here. We're going to see the character of this Cambridgeshire Cats team. It's not been a good start to the second half. And you're now looking at saying to these players, this is where you show us what you're made of. Are you the sort of guy that rolls over and gives up? Or are you just going to make it as difficult as you can for the Cheetahs? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
It's a difficult one, but I think that they came out with great intent, but they kind of shot themselves in the foot. On that last play where they fumbled the ball, just prior to the one that was a touchdown, they brought a guy in jet motion and handed it off to him. The quarterback and both running backs were lined up deeper than him.
Yep.
So they had 3 blockers and then
potential
a ball carrier
blockers who are unable to block,
and 3 wasted blockers versus a 4-man rush, and he gets gobbled up. And it's stuff like that where you're like, there's a bit of both. You've got to have the intent, but you've got to put your players in a position to win, and the play calling on that series wasn't very strong.
I would just like to mention, in the Cats' defence, they do have a very thin coaching staff. They've got very few guys on the sideline and gals on the sideline that can make these adjustments.
Absolutely, but plays like that where you waste 3 players shouldn't even be in your playbook.
Agreed.
That stuff can be sorted in the off-season.
So Phil, here we are. We've got the Cats got the ball again on their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, I was going to say also about that last play call. In the 9-man game, the jet sweep is actually a very common call. And there they went for a jet handoff, which is really weird. I mean, if the ball is fumbled on that handoff, of course the ball's on the ground.
They should maybe pitch it forward and then it's an incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass there.
But it certainly puts you under less pressure.
It does indeed. And
we saw that in a game recently, didn't we, Jonathan? Where can you remember which team it was?
East Kilbride.
And they handed it off, and it was a fumble.
Yeah,
right.
The East Kilbride very clearly popped it, and it was incomplete.
Yeah. So just Coach Rooney saying that when we watched,
ball's out again,
and it's recovered by the Cats.
Number 50.
Either way with the jet sweep, you can coach either way, and executing it's the key. But if you've got two running backs aligned at 7 yards deep, and your QB's at 4.5, and he's handing it off to someone who's at 3.5, those running backs can't help the play. They may as well be lined up at wide receiver.
Well, a third of your team are now out the play.
Yeah, they may as well be lined up at wide receiver, lined up at tight end. Trips bunch one way, trips bunch the other way. Try and pull defenders out the box. They brought additional defenders into the box by their location, and they didn't contribute to the outcome of the play. So that's a bad play. Delete it out your playbook or modify it.
Well, hopefully though, I mean, your coaching staff after the game will be able to go back and make those adjustments to the playbook.
Yeah,
so they're not
absolutely.
put in that position again.
And it may be the case that the staff is so short-handed that they don't have that feedback loop in place.
Yeah.
And actually being here today and giving them the chance to put this on film, to give someone else's perspective in real time on what they're seeing, can actually help them sort of say, you know what, I'm going to review this.
Well, I mean, we've got to stress, Phil, that this Cats team is a rookie outfit, and it's going to be difficult to cover everything with one or two coaches to the level that this I mean, you look at this Cheetahs sideline and the number of coaches for this junior program, the number of coaches for the senior program. Yourself, you're a youth coach. This is where the game is developed. It's this backroom staff.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to actually have 4 coaches on my youth team, which is even
I mean, there's senior teams out there without that sort of commitment from the coaching staff. So we have a new QB in, number 32. He's going to go deep to number 82, who makes a great catch. And if it wasn't for the tackle, an open field tackle, number 13, he could have gone.
Yeah. Jack Stidell usually playing some offense. I wonder if there's some banged up players on the Cheetah defensive backfield. Another thing that this is going to test is also the Cambridgeshire Cat coaching staff. We know they're understaffed, and to have a team that is frustrating you, it really can be a test, a testament or a test of the coaching to really see how much you can keep.
Well, one good thing about this Cats outfit is I spoke to the head coach. The head coach of this Cats junior team, he used the word passion repeatedly. He also coaches at the senior team. He's one of these guys that's really into his football. So I think to help this program, it's not an on-field thing. It's purely getting more coaches to bring these young players on.
Yeah, and you got to ask your senior players, see whether they can help out. My coaching staff on the under 16 team is. My defensive coordinator is a DB on the senior team. My linebacker coach plays linebacker. So get the senior squad more involved with the younger squads.
We've got number 32 back in at QB. He's got a slightly stronger arm, but he's got second and a bus ride.
Oh no, not another penalty on the Cats. They really have not come out strong out of this half. Penalty, whistle blown before the snap.
So this is the Cambridgeshire Cats' first year playing 9-man football. Last year they played 7-man, which is a big jump up. And we have the ball stripped from the QB's arms as his arm was back in the throwing motion. We'll have to see whether the referee says his arm was coming back or coming forward when the ball was stripped.
And from my angle, I could see it pretty clearly. That ball was not coming forward. That was a straight out strip. Yep, referees agree.
So we've got the QB's arm moving backwards when he fumbled the ball through contact. It's recovered by the Cheetahs in the end zone for another defensive touchdown.
That's the third one today. That's not telling.
So that brings up a running clock. That takes the lead to 40-0.
So it was number
in the third quarter. I mean, the Cats have come out trying to throw deep there. They've had a small bit of a success on that drive, but those running backs have been kept in Max Pro, aren't providing enough protection. At what point do you either line them up on the line of scrimmage and make them be covered by either a linebacker or some sort of defensive back, or at least swing them out? Because all game long, they've not tried to exploit the aggressiveness of this front six of the Cheetahs by throwing it to the flats.
Yeah, they really haven't. I mean, it may be just the flexibility of their playbook. It doesn't really allow it. Rookie players also, it's hard for them to adjust to new plays they haven't practiced for 6 months. It's all sorts of fans.
Cambridgeshire at 11:01. That is their first time.
So while we've got this little break, I'll just once again plug the referee issue. I mean, I'm going to talk to Jonathan Rooney here about the referee issue. We had a good discussion about this on the journey down here. It's a recognised problem now that there aren't sufficient people either refereeing or coming through that referee pipeline. And there is no simple, easy answer, but if you were to give up your top 3 tactics to try and address this shortage of referees, what would you say, Jonathan?
First of all, I would. It's a tough one.
Put you on the spot there, but I want 3 answers.
Yeah, no problem. It's ground we've treaded before, but I think that there should be a responsibility for the clubs to find and help recruitment. We've seen that 5 Facebook posts with 50 comments each this week has generated 35 new applications.
Which is a positive thing.
It is a positive thing, but you have to ask the question, if Bafra has known about the dwindling numbers for 20 to 30 years, why hasn't there been a 5-post recruitment drive in the past?
I mean, I understand that, but let's keep it positive. Let's move forward. So it's clearly a very short social media campaign has increased interest.
Yeah.
What else can we do?
So let's keep that momentum going. Let's post more, let's tweet more, let's talk about it, let's be honest about it. The second thing, I would like to see the initial process sped up. Right now they're saying we can't get the 30 referees because we have to have individual phone calls with them.
So you're saying the pipeline that provides them is too thin at the moment.
Yeah,
it's difficult to
and
get big numbers through.
If there were 30 people a week for the next 5 or 6 weeks, it would be nice to see maybe a 10-person course cover some of the basics. And okay, some of them are going to drop off that maybe wouldn't have with a one-to-one support.
Fielded cleanly by number 25,
but you can block
from number 90.
You can pick those back up with one-to-one support in the future. But there are going to be some people that have refereed perhaps other sports. They've refereed, casually as level 1 coaches that can get through the initial steps extremely quickly. Mm-hmm. And that will help ex-players and ex-coaches translate into being referees faster. Uh-huh. Okay, so I understand that if you want to go one-to-one mentoring with someone that's never played the game before, and you have to ensure that they're safe and they have an understanding of the game. But if, for instance, if myself or yourself wanted to sign up, you should just be able to take the test and have a go. Uh-huh. And if you can pass the test sufficiently, then you should
go
be
under
able
the probationary period.
Exactly, yeah. And that could be done in a week. Rather than a couple of months. I think the final thing is like you say, we talked about the Facebook campaign, but that came out of the introduction of each team having a responsibility for helping recruitment, and it's not necessarily forcing them to get a coach to dual register as a referee, but just saying, if let's increase the league fee for each team from £100 to £200
to cover that initial
and
cost.
If you find a referee, it goes back to 100.
So what are your thoughts on that, Phil?
No. I'm
putting you on the spot now.
Yeah, you are putting me on the spot. I mean, there are 2 problems. There's a long-term sort of recruitment issue that I think is on its way to being solved, but we really have
17 goes long, and it's going to be picked off by number 13.
Hertfordshire defense, he is taking it back to the house.
So once again, the Cats go to the deep ball Unfortunately, it was underthrown. He seemed to have his weight back. The ball went high. Number 13 read it perfectly, but he was also in perfect position. He dropped back to cover the main threat, number 90.
And that's Jack stood out. He's a Team GB wide receiver. He's not going to drop the ball, and in space, he's not going to get caught. Unfortunately, that was just the wrong person to throw to for the Cats defense. I mean, the play calling on the Cats side, I'm not sure it's there. But going back to the referee issue, as I said, I think there's a long-term solution that seems to do it, but that's going to take 2 years plus really to sort itself out. I mean, we've got problems right now with referees not being in the game.
And it's blocked.
Blocked by the Cambridgeshire Cats.
Number 51 I don't think realises he's allowed to return it. It's in college rule, that ball's live, you can return it.
But I'm also not sure you're allowed to lift somebody up to get the block, which they seem to do.
I think we were resting on the opposition. He jumped up and tabled on the opposition, the opposition power bomb.
So that brings the score now. Cheetahs 47, Cats 0.
Yeah, and so the short-term issue with the referees is really the concern I have. The mention of the Facebook posts that have been made earlier. Some of the suggestions that people are making don't seem necessarily to be for the good of the league as a whole. Basically, make sure youth and juniors don't need referees. It's only us seniors that need the referees. Things like that. I don't think that's really good for the game for the long term.
Let's keep it positive. Let's say what we can do to improve the situation in the future.
Well, like I said, I mean, we're looking. Short term is going to be the challenge. Long term, I think they've sort of got an idea now with Jonathan mentioning the Facebook. The getting the more applications, getting people. They can sort that out. It's going to be a lot more positive. Short term, we're going to have issues. I think.
We're away.
It's number 89 to return. Takes a good return. Out to about the 36-yard line. Brings up reasonable field position. The Cats are currently going into wind with the wind blowing from our right to left.
So I think we just need to, right now, we need to show all the support we can to the current refs, make sure that no more refs leave.
Once again, I'll get my plug in, www.bafra.info. That's your first point of contact if you're interested in refereeing, which is a paid position.
Yep.
It gets you involved in the game, chance to travel, be involved in bowl games, etc. So.
And a day like this, have a nice day of exercise out in the sun and the warm British weather. What more could you ask for, really?
More warm British weather, I think, is the one thing I could ask for, I'll be honest.
Let's not get greedy.
So give left.
Oh, stood up there in the backfield.
Yeah, and I think what we're seeing now, Phil, is this Cats team, many of whom are playing both ways and special teams, are starting to tire. It's very hot out here. The Cheetahs are bringing on fresh guys, they're bringing on second stringers. They've got, fresh special teams guys. And it can be very tough out there for these kids, especially when you're trailing 47-0. Football's a difficult game when you're losing badly.
It is indeed. I mean, luckily as a head coach, I've never really experienced that. Unfortunately,
do not worry, that will happen.
I should touch some wood here, but it can be really disheartening. Like my son is a player, and last year they suffered some big losses.
Cats on the run. Set. Great exit by the Hertfordshire defense.
So we had shotgun, pro set with a fake left, but we had.
That looked like a designed run, but
the running back was actually behind the ball carrier.
Yeah, that's just some odd play call, play design.
It'd be interesting to see how many of these kids are now playing out of position, though. I mean, I'm not being critical because you're talking about rookie players facing a really good quality opposition. Injuries, you get guys that are new to the game playing out of position. So, I'm just happy to see they're still competing. It's a tough position to be in.
It is indeed. And credit to the Cats and credit to their head coach for getting them up and keeping them motivated.
Good thing to see from the Cheetahs here. We have pretty much an entirely different set of players out on the pitch now. Everybody's getting reps. High snap. Brings up 4th and long.
But the defense is fine back.
So loss of another yard and a half.
Here's a quick question for you, Jonathan. where is it more important to have a ref? Currently we have more games than we have refs. In your personal opinion, where is it more important to have those referees? What level of the game?
I think that it's a really difficult one. There has to be an understanding that the bulk of the money that BAFA and BAFRA operate on comes from the adult game. But I do not think it's right that masses and masses of referees should be there at the expense of youth. I'd love to see more events like this where an under-19 team can get a 5-man crew because it's tied to a senior league game. And so I think the biggest thing is that youth sports has to be taken seriously. We've commentated on the East Kilbride squad a lot, and they had a difficult time in the Prem last year.
But they've got a good youth programme.
They've got, sort of 12 plus rookies starting from the junior team, and it's a production line, and it's going to kick into overdrive. They might be going back to the Prem this year.
Well, funnily enough, both these adult teams we're going to watch have successful youth programs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sussex Thunder, they have Brighton and Hove Scorpions, but they are directly linked to the team, and they're saying they're getting 2, 3, 4 guys through a season. This season
that's
getting
brilliant to see.
It is, because you're getting pre-coached guys turning up.
I'd like to see these programs being given referee priority. I think the ultimately in the shortage numbers, the way to do it is with these double headers. I can't really see.
Give right, number 26.
A lot of people talk about that. Oh, why can't referees just work a Saturday? And I think it's a very, flippant response, because these guys have jobs and they have family to look after, and they need mental break and physical break from the stresses of it. So just demanding that they work Saturdays as a non-starter. Shout out to all the guys who do a double duty just to make the game happen. But I think these events, double headers, I'd like to see more double headers in senior league. If you don't have a youth team or a junior team, I'd like to see you forced on the road until you have one. You may as well go and play somewhere that doesn't have a youth team, so you can both guarantee referees. And so we may see more double headers in the straight underneath. More double headers in the future. He's got a track here.
Number 88 was incredibly patient, setting up his blocks, and who's on the tackle? Number 90, all the way across from the far side of the pitch. There's another flag down, but just a shout out to number 88, very patient play there.
There's a flag late on the far side, but there's another. Hertfordshire have been a little bit naughty on quite a few plays, and there's been quite a few late hits. Some of them have drawn flags. This one hasn't, but this was a needless shot that someone took here. He wasn't going to make the play at all, and he just got banged late. And you're teaching you guys to go whistle to whistle.
So just for the viewers out there, it's deemed that if the player has no chance of affecting the play, physical contact, especially when he's not looking, is against the rules, purely for player safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a place here where we've got a young man lay on the floor, and there was absolutely no need for it. And actually, the crew's only picked up the holding, so it's coming all the way back off after a great play. But I really like the fact we highlighted Tariq making that play at the sideline from far defensive end. He pursued across the field and made a great open field stop.
The thing is, Phil, we talk about talent, but what number 90 did there was just hard work.
Yep.
He made that play purely through hard work, and as a coach, you're rubbing your hands at that point and saying,
"Oh, of course,
they're listening to the message."
Of course.
So he's got to be congratulated, because he'll be tired. He's playing both sides of the ball.
All 3 phases, basically. I mean, he's been out there for every snap, as far as I can have seen, and that just goes to his athletic talent. And it's, as a coach, the athletic talent is the one thing, but it's also the willingness to work. And it really looks like he's out there on a team that's really not going anywhere this year.
You know what they say? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
There you go.
So we just got a brief injury timeout. Number 55's on the floor.
Let's see, number 55. That's Alex Edmond there on the
Cheetahs.
Cheetahs.
Under his own steam
now. The Cats.
So he's being helped off. Hopefully get clapped off. I mean, this is a pretty hard playing surface here. You can land on this and really take a hit just off the floor.
I mean, to be honest, it's actually in really nice shape right now. I mean, we played a youth tournament here last July, and it was brown and essentially dirt, and it's really looking good. I don't know if you can see in the live stream the quality of the grass is really nice, and I'm going to be
controversial and disagree with you here, fella. I've been out on the pitch.
worst pitch we've had on a stream this year.
And we've seen there's a big patch is missing. It's not
relatively,
even, it's rock hard.
It's
it may be better than it is usually, but that doesn't mean in absolute terms it's good.
I'm well aware of that.
And I think it's a case of a lot of the games we do are in northern England, and we have such awful weather.
Yeah, we need AstroTurf.
That we have 3G pitches everywhere because it's.
You couldn't actually grow real grass and expect it to survive.
Yeah.
So number 18, singled out on the left with trips bunch right.
And the Cheetahs have put in a different quarterback.
So number 12 in at quarterback.
And I've got a little soft spot in my heart for number 12.
So you're going to keep this completely neutral in your commentary, because I do believe that you're in some way connected to number 12.
That is my son, Liam McGovern. Liam is technically their starting quarterback. So.
Really interesting. I was just talking to Adrian Giles. I believe he's NTU bound, is he?
He is NTU bound. I'm looking for
a program to join.
Yeah, there's 3 players from the Cheetahs that are NTU bound. So
I know number 5 is as well.
Yeah, but also number 2.
You do realise Coach Ruin is doing a little bit of scouting at the moment?
No. Myself and Adrian Giles go way back, and
number 26, Luke McCorkindale Brown, is also heading towards the Renegades.
3 explosive players. That's really
so yeah, they're going to get a new starting quarterback and a new really explosive
starting quarterback early, are you?
Eventually, yeah. I'm maybe a little biased, but not that much biased. Yeah, so Liam has really been the quarterback of the Cheetahs youth and junior programs of the last 3 years. He started for me when I was youth 2 years ago, and he started last year at juniors. And
so here's a question for you then: do you model yourself on Todd Marinovich's father or the Manning's father?
Yeah, I like to think of myself more as Tom Brady's father. As a Patriots fan, not long ago,
So there we go. We got 2nd and 6 on their own 23-yard line. Trips bunch right with number 18 singled out, 1 high, drops back, throws the screen underneath, clean grab. He's got space. Number 42 makes a hit but doesn't wrap him. And who's on a tackle? Number
93, Tariq Johnson. He's really been the standout for the Cats today.
Number 50's been really solid, but at nose tackle he's obviously limited when anything goes to the perimeter. Number 89 has played particularly well.
Number 51 on the Cats too. I've seen him.
And then encouragingly, a lot of these players have said to the head coach they're already committed to coming back next year. So
that's great.
This is the first year in 9-man football. It's a big step up, but you're going to see a very similar team with 1 year's extra experience next year. So trips bunch left.
So I'd look this to be a pitch the other way right here.
Okay, QB communicating. And number 4, could be a delay a game. So a delay a game. Is it a full start?
Full start. I think I'm one of the wide receivers over there on the far side in that bunch formation. They seem to be a little tangled up.
So just to set the scene today, this is our first of a double-headed game. The second game we've got is an adult clash between 2nd place Hertfordshire Cheetahs playing 3rd place Sussex Thunder in it's going to be a corker of a match.
Yeah, this is the 2nd time they've played this year.
Cat's going to send 5, get the pressure. Got a stunt. Number 51 off the edge. Number 51 had a great chase, came off the edge. We had a stunt on the interior lineman. 44 showed blitz, but then backed off at the outside back.
Yeah, I've got to question the choice made there by the right guard. The right guard just let him go free instead of stepping out to make that block. Liam had no chance there on the run.
It's a nice defensive call by the Cats.
It was indeed.
Put the Cheetahs under real pressure.
So a lot of coaches, when they start getting down, they may get more conservative, but I like to really see the aggression.
You've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you've got nothing to lose.
You've got everything to gain.
And it can really, send for some sensational plays if you can execute them, which can really lift morale and get people pumped.
It's a high snap, it's fumbled.
Yeah.
Quarterback very sensibly just covers it, doesn't do anything stupid, doesn't turn the ball over. So penalties and miscues costing them on this drive, brings up 3rd and 30.
I was going to say 3rd and impossibly long, but
let's see how your descriptions change of these long distances with the change of quarterback.
Well, the quarterback, this is well within his wheelhouse.
Twins left.
Double backfield.
Gives it up the middle. The number 90's through.
Eventually makes a tackle. Number 90, I think, is really tired there. It wasn't really even wrap him up. I think they'll go to punt here.
So they'll be punting into wind.
So number 10, Josh Miller-Hall, back out to punt. Number, what is that? 89. 89. Let's see, that's
good snap.
Peter Page back on for the
ball
kick.
Hangs up. Great chase by number 89. 89 takes it on full stride.
And that's gang tackled immediately by 3 members of the offense, I'd like to point out. That's Luke McCorkindale Brown was the initial contact, but then Jay Sinclair got there to add. So the two offensive members getting out there on the punt coverage to really make sure that the short punt and the nice clean catch by number 89 Peter Page was cut short really quickly.
Page showed great confidence in his abilities. I mean, there was no doubt in his mind he was going to take that ball at full stride.
It was, and he did an excellent job. And if he had gotten a little more blocking, he could have made a nice return out of it. Unfortunately, he was met pretty much immediately by McCorkindale Brown.
So the Cats were now in a fourth quarter with a win behind them. QB under center. Drops back, pitches right, single back, who throws it to number 19. Good grab. And the Cheetahs are a little bit fortunate that he ran out into the sideline because there was a little bit of space. One of the safeties was over the top, but in open field, number 90 is a big guy to bring down.
Yeah, I really like that play call. That was really well executed by the Cats.
It was just a shame it started out on the right hash. They only had the boundary to work
I mean,
with.
they limited themselves, but I think with a right-handed running back.
Yeah.
But as you say, Jonathan, you've got to put yourself in space where he can actually make a move after the catch.
They're in illegal formation here.
We have a fake.
Number
a
5,
fake bad
Lucas
snap
Cornwall.
by the QB, a direct snap to the running back. Starting to get towards the back end of the playbook.
If you look at those last 2 plays, and okay, that second one wasn't very successful. If you run those 2 plays in the other order, all of a sudden 90's going down the sideline and scoring.
Yep. Or at least getting one-on-one in open field with a free safety. And he's a big
even
lad
if
for a
that
free
play
safety.
went badly and it was 2nd and 13, 2nd and 15 or whatever, you've got 90 in a whole load of space with a ball in his hands. Instead, we've got him pushed out of bounds.
So here we see him lining up on the narrow side again. So shotgun, double back. Receivers going deep. It's flushed out left. Looks downfield, sees number 89, but it's tipped. That's going to be a late hit on the QB, bringing up a first down.
The referees have got a really tight leash on this game right now. They're not going to let anything slide. That actually was a pretty foolish play by the Cheetahs linebacker there.
And that's not the first time we've seen this in this game. A late hit on a QB. That's got to be at least the 3rd or 4th time we've seen it.
Yeah, and whilst I don't not necessarily agree that it was, they've called it super consistently the whole game. So
you know where the line is.
Yeah, by in the 3rd quarter, they need to know that they just have to pull up there. I think at 0-0, you'd be a bit disappointed with that. At 56-0, just don't touch the opposition quarterback. Come on, let's just play the game.
Yeah, and kudos to the refereeing squad, which has done a great job all game.
Yeah, I mean they've been really consistent, as Jonathan has said.
Yeah, and really, making sure things get out of hand. When games get out of hand, and frustrations can get high, but they've kept a tight lid on it. Got some time to throw here. Chose to throw it away.
I mean, number 17 had a bit more time there, and he certainly had space to roll right.
Yeah.
So it's unusual for him to roll left when he's a right-handed QB.
And that's the narrow side of the pitch,
and
too.
they had twins
so.
on the right.
I'm not sure he's got the confidence. I mean, I would. I'm wondering what's happened. Number 32 seemed to be moving the ball a bit better. We are in running clock here, so this game can't have too much more time left in it. Oh, they're all coming this time.
It's just a 3-man rush. Rolls left again and throws the ball left. I think what we're seeing here, though, Phil, is this Cats team starting to run out of energy. I mean, we commented before the game with a relatively small squad, inexperienced. By the fourth quarter, they're going to be tired. And
yep.
That's physically tired, but when you're physically tired, you start to make mental errors.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's this game. A lot of people in the UK, I think, have a perception that if they don't know American football, they think it's just big guys running at each other. They don't realize that the mental aspect of this game is really incredibly important. And a hot day like this, it's really challenging.
So drops back to pass again.
Some time.
Looks across the field, passes it up.
That was a dangerous throw there. It seems
So
like number
up
17 is getting some time to pass here, but they're really not getting open then for the receivers. Good coverage by the DBs. Unfortunately, with the pressure coming up the middle, the Cats are having to reserve so many people to give that quarterback extra time. They only can really send 2 into routes.
Or you could put the backs out. Or run spread.
Yeah.
Or run a screen, as Coach Rooney's just mentioned. But high snap.
Oh, no.
Chases it. Fails to down it. Number 76 gets on top. So that's a turnover on a fumbled snap, recovered by number 76. Don't currently have a name for number 76.
He's had quite the game too. He recovery in the end. Oh, actually, I know who that is. That's Ali Mulcahy, one of the uni players that's come back. He actually plays quarterback up at York, and he's actually come back to just play some T-ball.
Which York? Because there's York and York St John's.
I believe it's straight up York.
York Centurions.
Yeah, he's the quarterback.
They play Flexbone up there. We actually played against him. I coach at Teesside. I don't recall their quarterback being that tall.
Huh? I could be wrong, but he does go to York. He's doing PPE up there.
We've got screen underneath to number 11. He's got some space outside. Number 89 delivers a big hit, force him out of bounds.
89, I believe that's Peter Page again. Yep.
Yeah, once again making a good open field tackle. You can see why he's playing at safety.
Yeah. So the Cheetahs have gone to their third quarterback, number 8, Indy. He was my quarterback last year, Indy Wood. Blanked on his last name.
Just so everyone's aware of the big lead. Because of this big lead, we're in running clock, and the Cheetahs are taking a timeout to get these guys reps.
That's in the warning.
So we're already at the 2-minute
Yeah.
warning. The bunch, right? Looks like they've got one low covering and only one high. Look to exploit this bunch formation. Yeah, screen underneath. Batted. Caught by the quarterback. Caught by number 1. It's number 51. Wrapped up, finally brought down by number 40.
I absolutely love plays like that because in the first moment you think, wow, what a play, and then the QB looks up and he thinks, what have I done? I should have just batted this down. At first you're like, this is brilliant, and then you're like, oh no.
So we have a player down.
Not sure where the player is down. Oh, it's Toki Bell again, the left tackle on the Cheetahs. Those plays, as a coach, make me really, really nervous when the broken play at this level can end up with some crazy things happening. People get all excited and
Depending on where it bounced, the D-line could have looked out.
And you end up with like a kind of a play action off it. because people stop covering people. People start charging towards the fumble. People start trying to make a play on the ball. QB catches it clean, and the cornerback plants his feet. He can still throw, well, can he throw it forward?
You only can throw the ball forward once in a down.
Good point. So it was a forward pass that was deflected.
No, he had to run with it. He made the right thing about deciding to run with the ball. I mean, there's nothing else he really could have done.
So number 77 who's been I'm going to say the offensive line for the
Left tackle.
have been absolutely superb. They've really controlled the line of scrimmage against two very good linemen, number 90 and number 50, who've been good players. This offensive line has managed to exert their authority, albeit with a good running back and the quarterback that's executed particularly well.
Yeah.
But as you were saying before, it's the quality of linemen that make the team.
Of course, I mean, and that's true at any level. The under 16s has just got that single center. Here there's the 3 linemen, and then the 5 men at the senior level.
We'll see his replacement, number 59 in.
Oh, that's a ball. That's a fumble. Wisely's covered.
By the Cheetahs, number 8.
That was a pitch that was just a little bit behind the running back. Luckily, Indy Wood was able to fall on that ball quickly. That's actually some smart quarterbacking, because sometimes you make that pitch and you sort of give up. You think to yourself that you're out of the play, and he actually followed it and made sure that he was watching and where the play was.
So 2 broken plays in a row.
3rd down. Trips right.
Play action, rolls right. He's immediately under pressure and manages to evade it. Really to number 85, who breaks one tackle, breaks the second.
Oh!
And he is all the way under.
Oh, but there's a flag.
There's a flag thrown in open field. This could be getting called back, Phil.
And that's one of those, again, the broken plays that really can drive
To me,
it.
like number 51 for the Cambridgeshire Cats ended up face down in the turf. So
Actually,
a block in the back.
no, that happened really at the end. I'm surprised there wasn't a little bit of a late hit being called on the Cheetahs. I saw that.
There's a block in the back.
There's a number 81. That's Adam
Probably
Chowder.
on
Yeah.
51.
No, I don't think it was.
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, I saw the contact number 51 had. It was with number 11 there.
Clean contact, was it?
I would maybe say maybe an
It
outside.
wasn't flagged.
Yes, I think that's one of the felonies someone got away with more than anything else.
Just one thing to note here, we've been talking about how families are all day and how many. There are a couple of hundred people on site, but what's really great to see is it looks like there's a cadet flag training session over there with some really young guys playing the game, which is great to see. And again, it's well staffed. There are multiple coaches working flag practice whilst there are 100 junior game, whilst there are 200 people getting the senior. It's been a really fantastic for it today.
Yeah, that's our youth squad over. I mean, our flag squad over there, and I, as the head coach of the youth team, I keep an eye on them, and we play the flag team. Usually, we compete in the under 17s flag, but we actually take the players out pretty much at 14 to go to contact. And so I know there are players from there that are coming up to youth next year that hopefully will go on and play juniors and play the seniors. I mentioned before the train that we've got going on here. We really look at it really a feeder program going up.
But it's not just a feeder program. You know the quality that you're getting through because you have oversight on the coaching that is happening below you.
Yep.
In terms of it, I don't mean below in less important. I mean below in terms of age.
Yep. Yeah, and all 4 of us head coaches, we all get on really well and we communicate quite regularly.
Punch right. Once again, only one low of the top. Goes to screen again. It's slightly too high.
There's some pressure from 51 on the Cats coming up. That was really good pressure up the middle.
It's nice to see the QB's making his pre-snap read and saying that is the play that's going to be open post-snap.
Yep.
I'm quite interested in schemically though. It seems to be their kind of their main pass is this wide receiver screen. But the 2 times they've thrown the ball downfield, the 3 times now, in fact, they've had huge catch and runs. And it might be one of these things that when the score's this big, you might not want to do it much. But they really stayed away from it in the first quarter. When actually on deep passes, they're 3 for 3 with huge plays and 2 touchdowns and 1 called back touchdown. So it'd be nice to see them back the receivers a little more and let them play, because, as we said, they've completely changed the players that are on the field, and this is their chance to play. So I'd really like to see the ball thrown downfield a little more.
Well, I think the other maybe thought there with the wide receiver screen is, knowing the pressure that some of the other teams bring, get that out there.
Speed of release.
Speed of release, yeah, just to get practice on that against other defenses.
So you've got two defenders brackets in that bunch formation, and one low and one high, the free safety, which means the receiver on the left is one-on-one with no help.
That's the end of the game. So that should wrap it up, I think. The running clock makes the second half go by pretty quickly. 6-0, I think.
The final score.
That appears to be the end of the game. That means Cheetahs Juniors game to a close. Juniors winning by.
So that, as we heard on the channel announcement,
48. That's right, 48. Yep, 48-0.
Well, so as predicted, it's a handsome win for the Cheetahs, but the Cats can leave with plenty to build on here. They've got a young rookie squad who have had to be fought, a lot of them forced to play both ways, who have done well. But the question is, this Cheetah outfit, are they seeing enough that they think they can challenge the blitz?
I have to watch my words here a little bit. The coach of me says, of course they can challenge the blitz. It's going to be a tough game. But the Cheetahs, if they can solve some of these discipline issues that they've been having in the last couple of games and get rid of those penalties, then I think they will be able to straighten it out and give the blitz a tough row.
Would you agree with me in saying that they'll be looking to be competitive?
I certainly believe that. I mean, I think even winning 56-0 here, or 48-0, means when they played as poorly as they did.
If they can, I mean, playing-wise, they played well, but it's those mistakes, those flags, those late hits, those holding calls. It's big explosive plays called those penalties. A lot of them discipline-based that weren't involved in the game. There's still a lot to improve on here.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, and as we wrap up here with the handshakes for the first game, we're starting to think about looking ahead to our sort of main event in the senior game. We're going to kind of have a quick look at the records. They should be going up on screen for you, and with a few key standout players to go for. So in the main event, we've got the Hertfordshire Cheetahs sitting at 5-1. Sussex Thunder currently sitting at 3-3. Makes it a little bit of a playoff game already. Hertfordshire winning, you're in.
Yeah, and Sussex have to win this.
Yeah, they're on an elimination game.
No hope of getting in the playoffs.
And so we can see that actually, like, they're very well balanced. On offense, Hertfordshire are averaging a little over 28 points a game. Thunder are averaging 24 points a game. Defense, Hertfordshire are giving up 13 points and the Thunder are giving up about 15. So, they're kind of well-balanced teams there and thereabouts.
They run very similar offensive schemes.
Yeah, I think the Cheetahs will be very pleased to be at 5-1, having been recently promoted. And I think the Thunder probably are carrying a little chip on the shoulder, being annoyed at the 3 losses. The last meeting was 28-21 to the Cheetahs.
So
and one score. So I think we're set up for a cracking game. And on screen we're looking at 2 players that can break the game. So we've got Hertfordshire's running back Adam Adenji, and I believe Adam was an NTU player as well. Yeah, and he's coached for played for Coach Giles at NTU. Extremely explosive, very strong. Has got a little sort of move where he looks like he's going into contact and he just slips and makes people miss, and you wonder what's happened. And facing down the explosive sort of star of the Sussex Thunder offense.
Yeah, no, the defensive coordinator's worst nightmare.
Yeah,
the QB that is mobile and can tuck the ball and run.
And can throw.
He
isn't a one-dimensional player.
So schematically, you either think we're going to give up the pass coverage and try and contain him, stop him running, in which case you can hurt us through the air. But we're going to drop back in coverage, and if he decides to take off, we're in real trouble because he's in space and he's an athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. And both teams have come a cropper this year to the Thrashers, where the Thrashers are a kind of extremely sort of well coached, extremely disciplined, well drilled,